How is everybody? It's late, but I figured, well, it's actually not really late for BareRose. It's only 8:30 your time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But tomorrow I wasn't going to be able to be here and do this. I'm working on the old house tomorrow, and I was not going to have good internet. And then Friday we've got, Mopar Al, and Friday he would already had his subs. So I figured tonight he either didn't have them and we'd put him over the top, or we'd be here to celebrate if he got them in the live with Tony. So I'm glad you guys are here. So who all we got in here? We gotta greet these guys. I mean, they've been chatting a long time. Mopar Nuts 62's here. Street Box is here. Rapid Transit Garage, Jay. Andy, Unity Motorsports. I'll tell you what, to get Andy on a weeknight at 10:30, that's hardcore. Andy works at 4:30 in the morning. So thank you for joining us, man. Dr. Art's here. I saw Bad Tree Blake. Yeah, there he is. LB Bruins Vince is in the house. SRP. Tall Garage. Tall Garage didn't know you got your 500. Lunar Outlaw was here. Patrick, mostly old parts and rust. Glad you're here. Shopcat is everywhere. And BareRose, your mic is muted, which is totally cool. Just want to make sure you're aware.
One of these days I'll figure out them buttons.
JB's little shop is here. And JB, your time is coming. You have a great channel and your time is coming. So don't worry. Tonight's BareRose's night, but yours is coming. I'm telling you. NSB is here. Glad to see you guys. Wow. Man, a lot of people in here tonight. I'm getting to the point where it's hard to even greet everybody. I know I saw Outfits Garage, but again, this is kind of late.
Oh, cool.
Captain Do is well. Now the party can really get started. Captain Do is here.
Wendy, I love you. Don't tell Dawn.
Mopar Black Knight. What's he saying? I'm here. No Name National. What does Uncle Tony have to do with live? Because we're not stepping on Uncle Tony's live. So we're waiting for him to wrap up so that we can go live. We're good neighbors like that. And yes, I'm a moderator at UTG. So, we take care of business over there too. How's she going, eh? Most Canadian thing I've ever heard. That's signature phrase from Nolan. Rob's Rods and Streetcars. There's another guy fighting the YouTube gremlins. Mopar Man 78's here. Glad you could make it. The Wrench, Mr. Will's Dying Breed Garage. Frankenstein C20. Dust Devil Brian. There's a guy who's getting ready to crest 500 varies. How many subs do you have, Brian?
10 minutes.
Levi's here. There's another guy. He's in the category with JB. Not many subs yet, small channel, but he's coming on strong. He and JB are going to be surging soon. I predict that right now they're planting the seeds, but they're going to get a good harvest. Drag Pack Merc. Yeah, Andy says way past my bedtime. But Andy's been super excited today. He's had good reason to still be excited and awake. So more to come on that. I'm actually going to be seeing Andy here in a couple of weeks. Roy Boy. Man, a lot of folks in here. I'm just trying to catch up. See, they've been chatting. Nathan Roadkill Custom saying congratulations to you on 500. Indeed. Hubie's Garage. Wendy English. Terry Grover. All right. I think I finally caught up. Man, tell you what, 4 minutes just to get caught up on who's in here. And 2 hacks. Showed up. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. You guys are the reason we do this. if I just wanted to call and prank BareRose about needing a transmission, I can do that without going on StreamYard. So you guys are the reason we do this. I called him today because we were going to. Hey, there's Swamp Rat Jay. I had to call him today because I had to call BareRose because we were thinking about doing this on Thursday as just an unannounced live. And then because of my schedule working on the old house, which will be going on for at least another month or so, I said, well, how about tonight? And I said, I got to call him. I don't want to leave him an email and give him no notice. So I had to call and leave him a voicemail. And I just said, yeah, I need a transmission for a Ford Tempo. AAA can't help me. I'm on the side of the road.
There's a huge government scandal going on that I need your help with. I'm also going to share a loophole that I discovered into the government's $1 billion slush fund that will pay you handsomely for your help. Here's
you're in BareRose. Yeah.
I was trying to find that voicemail.
Oh, okay.
I was going to play it.
No, anyway.
Like 7 o'clock in the morning. I was wondering who the heck is calling me.
We were going to discuss the whole YouTube sub auditing thing, because I've seen BareRose get up really close to 500 and go backwards 20, 30 subs a half a dozen times. I've never seen anything like it. I've seen subscribers get held and checked and verified and come back. I've never seen anybody get it quite as rough as BareRose. It's like they knew he needed 500 and they were trying to rough him up. And he was never going to be denied. We're going to talk about that. And then we kind of went for it and made a push, with Tony's audience and got his 500. So now this becomes a celebration live. So now we're just hanging out and we can talk about whatever you want.
And thank you, every one of you. Man, this is beyond wild.
I had heard of BareRose Garage. I was a really early subscriber, but I just knew him as the guy that had the Volkswagen, looked like the Salt Flats deal, and I thought that was all great and cool, But this whole thing has just brought out a great channel that I don't think most of us would know of otherwise. It's been fantastic. Shop 209's in the house. How you doing, John? Danny Boyd, of course. LB Bruin says that you're a class act. Indeed, you are.
What class?
Yeah, what class? Class act. Yeah, loving the 58 Ford.
Oh, thank you. Oh man, and racing 2 hacks all the way to 500. Yeah. That is just that was just more fun than anything.
Absolutely. The No Name Nationals is bringing out a lot of these channels. There's a lot of guys who've always should have had channels, and this has encouraged them to take the plunge, and it's fantastic. So many great channels we wouldn't have known about as early or maybe at all without this. So it's been great. Wendy's 500. What do I win? Be careful what you ask for, Wendy. So when I did,
I need to get your information. I got something coming for you.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll help facilitate if need be. But yeah, we'll get you in touch. When I was doing the clean out of the Roadrunner trunk on a live, I found this old pair of sneakers, and Jed Scott was kidding me about the sneakers. He said, I'll take the sneakers or something like that. Be careful what you wish for. The sneakers showed up in a box and showed up in a box in Kansas. He said that happened because he has subscribers not interested in drag race. I don't see it as often that way. And the reason is because I got a lot of subscribers for video of drunks getting thrown out of a football game. But I've never had a mass unsubscribe because of automotive content. So.
Hubby's Garage. He's got some neat stuff. He's just starting out.
Little Outlaw Garage.
He's got some cool stuff. I'm sorry.
No. We're just freestyling. We don't have any agenda. So yes, I agree. There's a lot of great channels like this. Check him out. I like a lot of these channels. Lunar's just, I think, pushing Dust Devil to make sure he gets his ride together. My mom's in the house, Nina Wilburn. That's my mom. So she was with me. We met Lunar. He was on his way from Texas. Okay, this was funny, right? So Lunar lives up north. He lives in New York, right? They have everything is different up there. They don't have the same food. He calls me from the road, and I said, "Man, you can eat anywhere you want. We got all kinds of stuff here. We've all kinds of places to eat, right? You know what he wants to eat? Chick-fil-A, because they don't have Chick-fil-A up north, right?" I said, "Great, that's no problem." Right. And it's funny because I was in town running around. I said, "I don't know where I'm going to be when you're coming through, but holler at me." And I was like a block from Chick-fil-A. I said, "Well, this is perfect. So we'll just meet there." And so we pull up, we go into Chick-fil-A, and he rolls in the 73 Buick, and I roll up in that van, right? And I roll up Chick-fil-A in my cousin Eddie hat. And the people at Chick-fil-A looked at us like we just had Viking helmets. It was crazy. They didn't know what our deal was, but we're definitely not regular type customers, right? We had a nice lunch. The mom was with me. I think the dog was the house. Usually she babysits the dog for me, but that was all a bunch of fun. And we shot a van video. You're gonna see some funny stuff on my channel here real soon. I started shooting that video Thursday. I finally got all of it shot on Sunday or Monday, and I'll get it up as soon as I can. Probably take me the weekend to get the video out, but it's a blast, and Lunar's in it. So
you got the hose in the robe?
yes, I do.
All right. No black light though, right?
You know what? There is not enough money in this world for me to put a black light in that van. I don't want it. Something tells me I would find the chalk outline from 2006 or something. Dizzy says Jeffers is open and racing this weekend. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, Wendy, if you get it to me, I'll get it to him. I'll get you guys in touch. No problem. That's one thing I'll extend to any of you guys as part of the No Name Nationals. I've got the book, okay? And I got all the contact info. So if you guys need to get something to another channel to get you guys in touch, I'm happy to facilitate that. Yeah, they were looking at us like, there goes the neighbor. Oh, so then after we go to Chick-fil-A, had a nice lunch, and then we did some filming. We go to O'Reilly, and we roll up at O'Reilly together. And I'm wearing the Cousin Eddie hat, and those guys, they're starstruck because Lunar's in there. We're having a good time. So. And what was great is Lunar jumps out, pops the hood quicker than most people check oil. He gets the fan belt off and goes in there for another one. I'm thinking, man, a modern car, you couldn't do that. I'm talking like 30 seconds. Fan belt off, in hand, walks in there, gets another one, sticks it on, shuts the hood.
That's experience.
Quicker. Yeah, but it's also 2 bolts. You can get to it.
Uh-huh.
And quicker most people can fill up a tank with gas. So I don't know how much pens we discovered in tank. Yeah. Our tutors talk about you got a radio in the background. Well, he's celebrating. See, he's got the news on because the news is talking about him getting 500 subscribers. Yeah, everybody was super nice that we saw on Thursday. Some modern cars are quicker. Maybe.
But they're not as fun.
Yeah, Hot Road's still shoveling snow. Nah, our tracks are open in here. Levi needs 11. Levi's registered. Your time is coming, man. We're going to have some stuff coming up. All you guys who are trying and making content and all that stuff, there's going to be lots of opportunities for you guys to get more stuff.
And just keep the content coming. That's the secret to it all.
Dizzy asked how many channels have sent in their deposits and are registered. A bunch. And there's probably even more on my list who have made all of their announcement videos and everything else and just haven't registered yet. Like, for example, Uncle Tony's Garage is not yet registered. They have a $4,000 match race, announced it, advertised it. Do you really think Tony's not coming? Of course he is. He's just not registered. So I can't discount those people, but I also can't count those people. So to give out numbers for registrations and also channel numbers, car count. See, there's a lot of people bringing more than one car. And there's a whole lot of people who haven't declared. So that number could be nothing but misleading at this point. Probably later in the summer, we'll give you guys some real numbers that might make more sense as things settle out. JB's little shop needs 238. I see him getting it. He's working. He's going to get it.
You're going to get it, JB. Totally. With the stuff you got going, a little 2.8 against V8s. I mean, you're gonna shoot through.
Yeah, that V6 stuff's interesting. Don English had a Caravan. The belt will come off in the rain. Kept the tool under the seat. Yeah. Yeah, Luner's wanting to test and tune, I guess, at Lebanon Valley. Levi's going to be doing a pretty unknown LS swap tip trick this weekend. Tell you what, why don't you do it live or premiere it and give some notice and share it? I mean, there's a lot of things you can do to get the subs up. Then you'll get there. You'll get there. Remember, when you guys have 100 subscribers, if a whole 5% of your subscription base is promoting, which is massive, nobody has that. But if you have a whole 5%, that still only gets you a few more subs. But then if you have 5 more with that, then it grows exponentially. See, like Uncle Tony's Garage will get 1,000 subscribers a week. It took me a year to get 1,000. So I'm just saying, it has an exponential effect. Don't stress it right now. You'll get your last 100 much quicker than you got your first 100. And BareRose did exactly that. He got his last 100 much quicker than his first 100. And that even counts going forward and backward about a half a dozen times.
Many times. I mean, it was Groundhog Day. Big time.
It really was. Man, I've never seen anything like it. He'd be at 470 and back to 446 the next day. And that was more than once. But he got it. I got proof. I already put up a community post where you had 500. So I've seen it. It's good. You're official.
I'm locked now.
You're the 8th channel to make it. And Shop 209 Truer Words have never been spoken. Take it by him. John's got about 6,000 subs. He knows what he's talking about. Keep making content and working on cars. Do that instead of working on production stuff. That production stuff is last. Keep making content.
That's just the icing on the cake. It's the cake that makes it good.
Right. The first 100 took forever. Absolutely. The first 100 takes longer than the first 1,000. Because once you get 100, now your channel starts working for you. Terry Grover says, I want to come too, not registered yet. Figure out how to get the car there from Jersey. We've got a lot of folks coming from the Northeast, so you can maybe get a caravan and figure it out.
Terry, I'd love to see you there.
Yeah.
You could get up there and do some Roy Orbison or some Elvis for us.
What's Captain Do asking here? Is the NNMB live show or late show on this is just BareRose celebrating getting his 500. Dallas and I will be live on March 25th. And then Mopar Al and I will be live Friday evening.
I'll fix that.
Yeah. Yeah, look at your YouTube data. It's all over the place. You can try it. I mean, look, nothing ventured, nothing gained, man. Find out if your internet's good enough. Just give it a whirl. Like I said, I mean, people will forgive you for trying it and the video is bad and you try it again and you improve. They'll forgive that. What's a lot harder to do is get them to come back when you don't make content because you're afraid it's not good enough. So give it a whirl. Try it on your data. See what happens. I mean, my internet quality was pretty poor when I did the live clean out of the trunk of the Roadrunner, and I had a huge crowd watching it because you know what? People would rather watch you pull nasty sneakers out of the trunk of a Roadrunner with Etch-a-Sketch quality video than watch HGTV in high definition. I mean, that's this crowd. So just go for it and do it. Don't worry about the production quality. Just try it.
My highest views are on my crappy $50 Walmart cell phone.
What?
Unedited, just straight out.
Indeed. Let me tell you, everything on my channel is shot on this phone. Everything. Okay? That's it. That's all I do. I mean, a tripod goes a long way, an external mic if you have to because the wind noise, but people worry too much about photography equipment, in my opinion. You get a lot of subs, that's different.
And they watch the craziest stuff.
So here's some
I
good
got
stuff.
like 2,500 on taking snap rings out of a drive line. The easiest thing you could possibly put out.
Yep.
And the views went crazy on it.
You know what it could be is there's a lot of people who've never taken snap rings out. Maybe they're looking for how to do it because they've just never seen one until something came up where they need to. So they go looking around YouTube for how to do it. Tall Garage says Instagram's a good benefit. Thumper says his sub count jumps around. But of course he's in. He made his 500, so.
And don't let that get you down. Just keep going.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
And a lot of them will slowly come back.
The best way to get views is thumbnail and title. I'll say that. But one thing I will say is don't get too enormously invested in that when you're first starting out. When you're first starting out, just get the best thumbnail you can get. Like, for instance, if you have a 5-minute video and you either take a picture that's going to be your thumbnail or crop out the best picture from the video on your phone. And the way you do that is very simple. If you hold your iPhone sideways and you do a screen capture with the best part, guess what? It's already proportioned perfectly and the perfect size to upload as a thumbnail. So before you get too fancy with it, just at least do that. The worst thumbnail is when you use a default thumbnail that's like your phone looking at the floor or something, and that's your default. Nobody wants to click on that. So it's easy to get a good thumbnail, So, but that once you start getting good thumbnails and good content, then you can kind of move up to start creating thumbnails and stuff like that.
When I downloaded the free version of TubeBuddy, that helped for creating thumbnails and that, because you can do them like that.
Oh yeah, I love typos like this. Danny Boyd, our paint gun's not angular discharge. That's all. I don't know what that means. Oh yeah, Joe had a little paint snafu today. I'm sure we'll see that on his channel. Yeah, well, you get a vote of confidence because you got a real channel. So, BareRose, having made the 500 and now being the sage elder statesman, what advice do you have for Dylan Levi there, who's in the 100s and needs to
comments?
Serve?
That's the biggest thing. Comments and content. Keep your content coming. But YouTube's a community. You gotta interact with the community, and that's where a lot of mine have come from too. Is just interacting with other people's content, keeping your content, your comments, all just engaging.
That's good advice. That's good advice. Well, one thing that really helps is that on my lives, we engage the chat the entire time.
Oh yeah.
And I tell you, now sometimes you'll have a guest and there's certain things that you want to put out there people can watch or listen to and on replay. I get that. But I still make time that we engage the chat as much as we can. That's why there's 50 people watching this right now instead of 5, because most 2,000 subscriber channels wouldn't have this many people watching. But that's because they know that here we don't just ignore them, and that to me is just such a thing.
And small channel chats, that's where it's at, because you get time, you can engage every single person.
You can. Dust Devil says he does all his on a cracked phone. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, it's busted up all over the place. That's why I got cheap ones.
NM78, go for it. You'll get there. Several of you are close. So I look at the guys who are close, and we push the ones who need it. The thing with BareRose is BareRose has practically made about 700 subs now. He just hasn't been able to keep the top 30.
I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be back to 420.
What did Lunar say? You have to scroll back, man. I don't remember what Lunar said. Lunar says a lot of things. I got to tell you, I am really thrilled that Just Mopar Joe's in the house. Andy stayed up late. We had a lot of guys stay up late to come to the party and congratulate BareRose. It really makes me happy. I really am glad they did that. You guys are awesome.
Andy.
Then
that just makes me feel just wow. Lunar
is here. He bought 3 GoPros on his road trip. Oh yeah, so we go to O'Reilly. He's got GoPros doing time lapse out the windshield. This guy from O'Reilly says, "Oh, there's cameras." I'm like, yeah, man, we're doing time lapse. Make sure you point that guy out. Here's a good question for BareRose. Which is better, Italian cars, the Lamborghini or Ferrari?
There's a graveyard of Italian cars just a little bit from me, just plumb full of spiders. There's a guy up the street that's putting a 305 Chevy in one.
Yeah.
He's been working on it for the past 20 years.
People only show up at Dust Devils for the weird hour. Dust Devils begin with the weird hour. He just has the weirder hour. Danny Boyd says paint can be fixed with a razor blade and some sanding. Sometimes, like a run, maybe. Hey, Wasted Talent Fabrications is in the house. Very cool. You know, Brian, Lunar Outlaw Brian was asking if there's going to be any imports there, and we did mention yours. So, Dust Devil Garage was at 475 yesterday. Well, that's like a 99th birthday, man. You get to 500, it'll screenshot it, and then you're in.
Make sure you screenshot it.
Yeah, I'll screenshot it. You'll get there. You'll get there. Walter says congrats. That's pretty cool. Walter's Joe's little boy, and he's keeping Joe busy. I'm gonna wait until Walter gets just a little bit older so he can help us sand that van and paint it. I told Joe. There you go. Shop 209 likes that 58 Ford. I do too. I think that's cool.
Thanks, Shop 209.
Terry Grover, no, you got to have 500 subscribers to get in. Got to have 500 subscribers to get in. I appreciate the gesture, but the purpose is that when somebody has to get 500 subscribers, it gives them a motivation. They want to be there. You know you're not going to have any behavior problems. They're accountable. They're accountable to their audience. It makes for a more solid YouTuber when you get that 500. So think of it like this. Everybody has to get 500. Everybody. We just don't begrudge people who already had 500 before the event. Right? And so far, it's been really good. And everybody's got just such a great attitude about it, and it's turning out great.
And it's possible. All you got to do is just keep it rolling.
Frankenstein C20 had 75 subscribers one day. 4 days later, he had over 500. I mean, it's absolutely possible.
Look at White Trash.
Yeah, man.
He's at what?
87 to 1,600 in 3 days.
Yeah. I think he's over 2,000 now, isn't he?
I wouldn't doubt it.
I mean, he's just exploded.
And neither are for me. Not my bag. I don't like anything that Dodge does with 3 parts that another make does with 25. I just don't like that. Today I was running around in an 85 Dodge van. That's what I drove all day today, running errands. And I'm thinking, there is not a thing missing from this that I want. No screen in the dash, none of that stuff. Everything a person could need. It's great.
I used to have a saying that I would never touch anything with a plastic dash. But that 58's got a plastic dash in it.
Arthur says that Sleeper Dude says putting his family and animals in the videos made a difference. Well, I'll say this. I mean, if I got a video and mom's in it, my aunt is going to be in my video coming up this week. My aunt's in it. My dog Jethro's in videos. It's just whatever comes up. Just, they're included just like anybody else. Dizzy Izzy says first 3 weeks close to 50. Well, at that rate, you're pretty close, right? It's kind of close. You can do something with that. Yeah, better kick it up a notch. Just 197 days. 197 is what it is right now, today. It's possible, Thumper, but the clock shut off at 22 seconds. So.
Oh, wow. Good one, Roadkill Customs. That's a good one. A lot like YouTube, just everybody I got to meet there. It's just, if anybody out there can do the Salt Flats one time, I highly recommend it.
That's cool. Dust Devil said it was a lot harder before this event to get to 500. He is absolutely right. See, that's something a lot of these people don't realize. They start channels and they start working on 500 now. We didn't have this when I got to 500. It was a whole lot harder. I mean, you had to go out there and find all your own audience. See, right now, you've got 100 or 200 people who are interested in what you're doing because of that you would not have had that ready-made audience before. It's a huge kickstart to a new channel, this event.
Heck, I had 49 when I did my announcement video. That's including the ones that I picked up on your, during your video part.
Mm-hmm.
But when I dropped my video, I had 49. And it took me a year to get that.
Yep. Right. Well, attitude is just so important. Because quitting is easy, and a lot of people do it. And a lot of people say, once I get the right excuse to quit, I'll quit. Well, okay, what does that get you? It gets you absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
And so, here you are today. So you're now the newest member. You're in the 500. It's great. We're thrilled for you. And I'll tell you what, too, without this event, you wouldn't have a welcome party with 57 people to greet you.
Wow.
I think it's great. I just love how these guys are rallying around each other. It's the greatest thing ever. It's the greatest thing ever. Mopar Man 78, he's going to be featuring other people's stuff, including Ecto 1 replica. That'll be cool. Looking forward to that.
Wild Rose. I like them. I just wish they'd leave them raw without any paint or anything on them. Oh, that would have made them so much easier.
Outfits says he's still trying to get there. I told Outfits way back there when I was his 26th subscriber. I said, when you get to 250, we're going to have you on a live. You get halfway, and then we'll start helping you go the other side of that hill. So he's getting close. Last time I did stats, Outfits had, because I do these stats fairly regularly. Outfits may not have actually registered yet. I don't see him on here. So no, Outfits has yet to register. But last I saw, he was probably getting close to 200. So
you'll get it, Russell.
What? What is this? So John just bought a 2022 Z71. It's a spaceship. That's such a contrast to your Nova. Dr. Art saying good night. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Doc.
Thumper says that Dodge has 1,600 bolts, all different sizes, mixed and all that. I can't stand that. I just can't stand that. I
reference that all the time in my. You catch it in my videos every once in a while. I'll talk about changing a timing belt in a PT Cruiser. Takes a full toolbox and a tool truck on the way.
No kidding. SRP. He needs 30 days. All right, man. April 16th, we expect to see you with 500 subs. You're really close.
And Wild Rose, next year, I'm going to take my gasser against you. We're going to call it the War of the Roses.
Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, Clint says it took him a year to get to 500, right? Mopar Al says, congratulations. Mopar Al, how many minutes did it take you to get 500? By the way, Mopar Al, for you the guys who don't know, he'll be live on this channel Friday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Mopar Al will be in the house.
Thanks, Mopar Al.
All right, man. We're not late by any means, but I just kind of wanted to address some of these guys, get BareRose on. You want to drag some other folks into the live to help you celebrate? Any of you guys want to jump on? What do you think?
Come on in, join the party.
Yeah, I don't like to do that too early because it gets like pure chaos. You know what I'm saying? But at this point in the day is a good time. So anybody wants to, feel free to come on in.
I got a full pot of cowboy hand warmer going.
You guys want to jump in? You're welcome to do so.
Another thing that the No Name 500 did for me that really helped me out, I stopped thinking about my videos. I just went out and just took it out of my mind and just shot. Just turn the camera on and shoot and just make video. Instead of trying to think, okay, does somebody want to see this? Screw that, just make a video. And
well, you figure
that really helped.
Well, I mean, some people are going to watch anything you put out. Some people are going to hate everything you put out. And most people are going to be reasonable viewers. And for those, you're making the video. Yeah, just film what you're doing and post it.
Yeah. I'm doing it anyway.
Well, Thumper, you should do that. Make a video on it. I think that will be a fascinating video. Seriously.
I got a few taters around here.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody wants to make their own fuel. I think that'd be a great video. I mean, you just steal your own fuel. You're going to need bigger jets and, probably a little bit more corrosion resistance in your fuel system. But yeah, why not? Hustle, MM78. Hustle. You know what's funny? Mopar Man 78 there. I can just envision a logo for his channel that'd be so cool. I don't think he'd like it at all. I don't think it's his style, but I can see it. I can so see it. Yeah, he's gonna make a boiler. Hasn't found any corrosion. Good. Let's see it, man. I'd love to see it. You want to come on here and talk about it? You got the link. Come on in.
I'm up here in Idaho.
It's some point I'm going to have a lot more of you guys on. I'm kind of mixing back and forth with No Name 500 guys. This is a random sporadic live with BareRose. This is just in addition to regular schedule, because we were either going to get him 500 on this live or celebrate him getting 500 on this live, but we were not going to go away empty-handed today. He has had it slip from his hands too many times.
I think if they gave them all back, I'd be monetized by now.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm scaring them.
I have yet to take a draw from my monetized. I've been monetized over a year. I have yet to draw from it. I just use a savings account. So Google is a savings account right now. Yeah, I like that avatar and logo. It is cool. All right.
My daughter in San Diego did that for me. I gave her control of all my merch, and there's actually stickers and stuff like that all coming for all of that.
Cool.
And that's another cool thing. It's brought my family together.
Hey, BareRose, when you get your stickers, please send me one.
Oh, you betcha. Oh, you betcha.
That'd be cool. All right. Look out. I don't know if he's ever been on a live before, but we got him. Thumper is
I've been on a bunch of lives.
Wow.
I know. I just say.
But I don't have my camera set up, so you don't get to see me, which is probably good.
We'll use our imagination.
Just think sweaty fat guy with a beard and you're good.
No, that's awesome. I know that's what I sit and think about when I'm daydreaming.
Oh, I know, right? Everybody's like, "Oh, I want me some sweaty fat guy." Mm.
You know, I gotta say, I enjoy your stuff. You know, once you get past that name, I mean, I like the stuff you're doing. It's witty. You know, you're interesting to listen to on videos. So,
well, it was either sweaty fat guy or mega jerk.
Whoa.
Thumper the sweaty fat. So tell us the origin of that Thumper name. I like that.
Okay, well, going way back to 1980s with CBs and stuff. My family was on a farm and we had CBs, and I was trying to come up with a good handle, and I couldn't come up with one. Yeah, I am Naked Shop.
Oh my gosh! Please do not enable your camera.
And after I quit farming and went to the military, then everybody started like coming up with names for me.
Yeah.
So I was always kind of like looking for one that I actually liked, and I was missing one of my front teeth from a car accident back in '83. So I got called things like Ogre and Donk. You know, the Donk guy from Crocodile Dundee. I don't need a gun. I got a donk. You know, so they come up with all that stuff. And then, you know, they heard my car, and I had a car that would like wake everybody up because I'd go to work a little bit before everyone else, and I'd start it in the parking lot, and they'd be like, "Oh shit, my alarm didn't go off." So they started calling me Thumper because they could hear me coming from about 2 miles away.
Wow. Wow.
That's cool.
I like how some of these nicknames come about. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, and then I just made it my gamer tag when I go, you know, shoot people online.
I saw this and I'm not surprised, but it is kind of like, wow, already. So Rapid Transit Garage fought and ground their way to 500 subs a few weeks ago, and they're at $9.99. So if there's anybody on here who is not subscribed to Rapid Transit Garage, go ahead and subscribe. Jay, when you get your 1,000, report back and let us know. Congratulations, man. That's a big deal.
I was on a live when you hit 500. That would be so cool if I hit. You're on mine when I hit 500 and you break 1,000.
Look
that will be so cool.
Look how quick Jay got from 500 to 1,000 after grinding his way up to 200. Then he got quicker from 200 to 500, and now in no time he's got 500 to 1,000. That's
well. How often is he making content? Because if you're making 2 or 3 videos a week, you're gonna build kind of quick. But if you're making 1 or 2 every day, you're gonna build real fast. Just because you'll be out there.
Yeah. Well, plus he keeps them coming back. He's got a good channel. And he's an easy guy to watch and listen to, too. That helps.
The Mopar guys have it easy, though, like I said in the chat, because they don't read so well, so they like looking at pictures.
Oh, man. We don't have to read books like How to Make Your Car Faster. We've already got it.
If you say so. Those Pontiac guys are special, though.
We do read books about making other people's stuff faster. Like, David Rear has written big books on how to make Chevrolet stuff faster. Things like roller rocker arms and, the stud girdles and all that stuff that we don't use.
Well, yeah, you got shaft rockers from the factory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you want to know about alcohol?
Sure. Let's tell it. That is so cool. Tell us about that.
All right. What do you want to know? Everybody light up the chat with what your questions are.
Okay. So just to start, man. Okay. So what kind of source? Are you using something somebody else has distilled? Or are you making it? And what do you do to your fuel system? How's it work? Have you made passes on it? That's just interesting stuff. Well,
I just tapped 20 trees today. So I'm waiting to see how much sap I get out of them. But I take the sap and I ferment it. That's kind of a new process. I got divorced back in 13 and I had to rebuild my whole life. So 15, I built my shop. 19, I built my house. It's been kind of a slow process being a crippled vet with only so much money and having to do all the work myself. But I'm getting big into, and also, 14 gas prices were low, so I could buy E85 in a barrel and then just pull it out of that for my hot rods.
Well, what is your yield? You said you tapped 20 trees.
Yeah, I got to find out. I mean,
man,
I'll see how much I get out of them.
I hope you're doing video series on that. Is super cool.
Yeah, I just tapped them tonight, so hopefully there'll be some sap there tomorrow night.
Okay.
So I'm not sure when they're going to start rolling, but it just started getting warm here.
What kind of trees?
Maples.
Maples?
Maples. Yep. I tapped a birch too because I read that they have some decent sugar in them. I'll find out how much.
Now, I'm curious. Do you have the ability to get a sample of that to a lab to see what the octane is? Or are you just going to put it in and see what it does in the engine, test it out? I mean,
well, the octane test doesn't really work that well for ethanol.
Okay.
Because the way it's set up, ethanol has a lot higher octane than the 105 rating that they give it. Because you can't run 105 octane gasoline with 16-to-1 compression.
Yeah,
but right. you can on E85 easily.
Wow. Really?
Yeah,
man.
And so far, I put the 70 GTO on E85 and a little bit of homebrew that I was making way back in 2007, and put the 65 GTO on it in 2018. And I haven't found any corrosion or eaten gaskets or rubber hoses or anything.
Neat. So how did you adjust your setup from gas, like to get the volume and all that?
I know Q-Jets really well. So I read about how the guys were doing hollies, and I learned, I've been doing Q-Jets for like 30 years. So I got Cliff Ruggles' book so I could make sure that I had everything figured out. And Cliff has a stage 3 kind of race recipe in his book. And I just took that and made it a little bit bigger. And what I did was I got a wideband O2 sensor, plugged it into the header, and snuck up on it. I pulled it all apart, drilled it a little bit bigger, pulled it all apart, drilled it a little bigger. A whole lot of trial and error until I could figure out, this particular Q-Jet model what it needs, because they all need something different, because they're all over the place for, how much they flow up from the factory.
Wow.
Yeah, factory standards not there on them.
Yeah, but my buddy in Nebraska, he ran figure 8 with a Olds Tornado, little front wheel drive, buzzing around figure 8.
Figure 8 racing that.
Yeah, it was hilarious. It was hilarious. He had a 455 in it. He headed 455.
Wow.
And he was running E30 with a regular old stock unmodified Q-Jet. I did an E85 carb for him, but he never used it. He said,
wow.
The E30 works great.
Wow. Tall Garage is out. Thanks for stopping in, man. Tall Garage is another one. He's coming on quickly. Mostly old.
Once he breaks out, he's going to go.
Oh, yeah. He's a good host. He's got good content. He's a good host, too.
Shop, it's not the BTU content. It's the oxygen content. That's why you need to add more fuel. Because ethanol has a lot more oxygen. That's why it makes more power.
Neat.
The BTU content, BTUs are only measuring how long it takes a given fuel to increase 1 pound of water's temperature by 1 degree. And when you're, trying to power an engine, you're not wanting to heat water. So the BTU is kind of, it's like a red herring.
I'm really looking forward to you putting some video of this out. I'd love to see this.
Well, I got some, just little brief, quick ones, kind of like primers. Yeah. Because I've been waiting for the weather to get better so I can actually get out in the shop and do stuff.
Yeah, you're up in Michigan?
Yeah, northern Michigan up by Lake Superior.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, if I shoot a rifle due north, I'll hit Lake Superior.
This is interesting. Oxygen help with NO2. Do you mean N2O or do you mean a different oxide of?
He means not oxygen or damn, I can't.
Yeah, it's some kind of NOx.
Oxides of nitrogen.
Yeah, it's like, NOx what he's talking about. Do you mean N2O?
I've seen where some people say that it increases NOx, but I haven't really tested it myself. One thing that I know will happen, and have you ever seen the movie The Right Stuff about the space race?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Cooper, right? The guy that is at the end, he's like played by, what's his name? Well, Cooper, the one that's not Yeager, but he was the fastest man for a while there with the X-15 and all that. Well, he was messing around with jet engines because he got caught in middle of nowhere up in the Midwest, and they didn't have any jet fuel. So they had a whole bunch of methanol. So they just put methanol in it, right? And they thought, oh, man, it's going to trash the engine. Well, it didn't hurt a damn thing. He just flew back to Florida, and no big deal, right? Didn't hurt anything. So he started playing around with jet engines and methanol and ethanol, and he found out that when you run ethanol or methanol in an engine, you're actually cleaning the air that goes into it. So if you are in like the smog-laden or part of the country, like San Francisco, and you are driving around with your ethanol or methanol-powered car, you're actually cleaning the air. It's coming out of the tailpipe cleaner than it goes in the carburetor because it burns all the crap that's in the air.
Interesting. I have to wrap my head around that.
Ethanol is a whole different animal. You don't run it like you do gasoline. I run 190 to 210 thermostats in my car.
Look, there's something SRP said that you've got to know a lot about, considering where you live.
Yep. That's why they put gasoline in it. Otherwise, we'd be running just straight ethanol. That and the oil companies got to have their little bit in.
Yeah.
Well, all the monster trucks run on methanol.
Yep, methanol and ethanol are very different, though.
Yeah.
I got a thing on my community tab right now that shows the difference if you look at the molecules. Methanol is a really simple one. Ethanol is the same one, but with another addition to it with more oxygen and another carbon.
Well, that's the difference between the moonshine that would make you go blind and the moonshine that wouldn't, right?
Well, the whole moonshine thing where you go blind from it,
Right.
Stems back to Prohibition when they were mixing methanol in with the ethanol because the boiling points are close enough that you can't distill it out. So 10 milliliters of, just a little bit, not even 10 milliliters is not a lot. That can kill you with methanol.
Wow.
And you can drink quite a bit of ethanol and it doesn't bother you at all. Well, you get drunk. I'm sure all of us have had a little bit too much ethanol.
No.
Wow. Interesting stuff. So tell us about what Roadkill Customs is talking about.
I'm building some grills because I got a 70 GTO sitting here. And he said he didn't have any grills, old Dalton. So I was like, well, hell, I'll just hook him up. So I messaged him and says, you want me to make you some? And he's like, yeah. So my little brother makes RC airplanes out of foam. And he does basically the same thing that I did with these grills. He takes the fan fold stuff and he forms it into a wing shape and covers it with the plastic screen door screen. And then he squeegees a bunch of Gorilla Glue through it and then sands it all smooth and spackles it so he can make this really strong, almost indestructible wing. And then he can get like 150, 200 mile an hour out of an RC airplane with it. So I used that process to build some grills. And I just picked up some Bondo tonight to kind of finish it and fill in the holes. So.
That could be a heck of a side business for him.
I'm not going to do that. I have too many cars of my own. I don't start any businesses. And I'm a crippled vet, so the VA, Congress doesn't want me earning more money. I only get to live on what they give me. So I get a 6% raise, they get a 22% raise. But that's so I got and that's how I got into the ethanol thing. It's not that I sell corn or ethanol or want to make money off of it. I wanted to drive my goats. I wanted to drive my Firebirds. I wanted to go out and race and have fun. And I can't do that when gas is $5 a gallon. And how much is race gas now that gas is $5 a gallon again? It's just like, to hell with that.
I put 7/8 of a tank of regular fuel in the van today, $117.
Yeah. And I was looking, first I looked at methanol and I was like, oh, geez, that takes a lot and it's really toxic and it causes a lot of problems and it's hard to do. So it's really expensive, for you to make it yourself because it's a slightly different thing. Looked into hydrogen and I was like, well, it takes a lot of electricity and I don't want to throw that much electricity at it because my power bill is already high. And then I looked at methane, which is insanely easy to make, but it has the same problem that hydrogen has, that a 20-gallon, a tank that will hold 20 gallons of gas or water or ethanol has the equivalent energy of 3 gallons of gasoline when you run hydrogen or methane.
Yeah.
So you just don't have the range. You got to have a massive tank. And then it's got to be at like 22 or 24,000 PSI. To make it liquid. And man, I can't afford all that. So I got to looking and I was like, well, hell, vodka, we'll just do moonshine. Cause I know the shiners used to run it, in their hot rods and then they just sell it out of the fuel tank. So I was like, it's got to work somehow. So I figured out how to do that. And I was like, well, okay. And then, until I could get my production up, I've been running E85 and using that to tune and learn how to configure the engines to get the most out of ethanol, the carburetors, EFI, all that. And I've been testing the corrosion thing since 2007. And I have zero issues with it. And all the yellow stuff and the waxy crap that's left over after you run, ethanol, whether it's 10% gas or E85 or whatever, that's from additives that they put in. It's not from the ethanol. Because if you drink a bottle of vodka, is there any waxy stuff left in the bottom?
I wouldn't know.
No. You never seen the bottom of a vodka bottle?
Nope. I really haven't. I'm totally unqualified to say.
Yeah. Well,
but no, I see what you're saying though.
Yeah.
It's clear.
And if there was a big corrosion problem, would we put beer in beer cans, aluminum beer cans?
Right. I mean, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Of course, that's only like 2 to 8% alcohol, but and I don't blame you for not drinking, man. I don't either.
Just not my bag.
Yeah. So I'll put it in my car, but for some reason, around about 2015, I started getting a headache if I had like one beer or one shot or whatever. So I don't even drink anymore. I feel like crap for the next 3 days. You know, it hurts. I feel, it's like a hangover, but I didn't really get drunk or anything. So I don't know if it's interacting with my meds or what. But no alcohol goes into me, but it goes in my car.
Your car's the alcoholic, not you.
Yep, my GTO's got a drinking problem.
If anybody else wants to jump in, you're welcome to. We're just hanging out freestyle, celebrating BareRose Garage getting his 500th subscriber. Congratulations. We're not having to do a subscriber drive because the Uncle Tony's Garage community came together to get him his subs. So we just get to come here and hang out and celebrate.
Dan, thanks again, man. All of you, thanks.
Hey, Bubba Ayers, how you doing?
Heck, my town's only got 477 people that live in it.
Right. Bubba's got 381 as of yesterday.
I won't tell you how small the township is that I live in. Of course, it's a 20-mile long township, but there's fewer people that live in it than your town.
I had an uncle that lived in Norman, North Carolina once, and I think Norman had about 100 people in it. Norman had a little blinking yellow light, and if you just cruised through and didn't take much note, you would miss it. It had a post office, a little store, a church. I don't know, had one intersection and a blinking light, and he lived right there.
Mopar Mitch, you don't have to if you run ethanol. You don't have to go stainless. If you're going to run methanol, it's a really good idea.
Huh.
And methanol requires after-run oils, top-end lube. You can't leave it sit overnight. If you want to see just how many problems it causes, watch SRC, because they just leave it in the S10 for a couple of days or whatever, or however long, and they have just tons of problem with it. And I've told Bill, I'm like, dude, you got to take it all out, put an after-run oil in it, run gasoline into it or something, just to, kind of keep it from eating stuff. Otherwise, it's just going to tear things up. The only reason he had a problem with rust on the bottom of the carburetor with ethanol when they were on E85 is because he wasn't running it hot. He's running it too cold. And with ethanol, you want to run it hotter. You don't want to run 160 thermostat. You want to actually get the heat in the engine, because it'll make the fuel vaporize better in the ports. The hotter you can get the intake, the better, because it's going to still, when it vaporizes, it cools the intake charge a lot. Do you guys have Motor Trend on demand?
I don't.
Okay. Well, if you check my community tab, I might actually have to put that picture up. It's cropped kind of funny in the community tab. But you can see that there's the Engine Masters guys, the Steves and Freiberger.
Yep.
They did a test where they took a blown big block Chevy and they had it run on gas, and it was running 8.9 boost and had, well, here, I could just look it up real quick, I think. But it was 173 degrees, under the blower on gasoline at 8.9 pounds. And then on a tunnel ram with the blower on it and ethanol, it was 72 degrees. So it dropped it 100 degrees underneath the blower. That's how much heat it pulls out. If you run ethanol or methanol on a blown engine, you can drive around and get frost on your blower in the middle of summer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'll lice up.
Yeah. Well, it ices up the outside. The inside doesn't care.
Yeah.
So it's all about managing your heat and getting the heat into the engine.
Here is something I don't know anything about, the water deal. I would say you guys may know a lot more about this than what I do. I've run water meth on my diesel.
I haven't done any of that. I've never owned a diesel.
I know out of my league.
I know some about them, and I know that if you take the injector off and you put EFI on it and spark ignition, if you can figure out how to get the heads past the pre-chamber and put spark plugs in it, put EFI or a carburetor on it, you can run a diesel on straight ethanol, though.
Wow. Interesting.
22 to 1, 26 to 1. Ethanol doesn't care.
Huh.
It doesn't light until you give it a spark.
Sounds to me like
Wow.
that'd be ideal for doing like the Oldsmobile 350 or
I've been thinking about that.
one of those diesels that was based on the gas V8.
The problem's the shape
Oh,
of the
the
pre-chamber. I
heads.
can't get a spark plug into it.
They can't hold head gaskets the way they are, though.
You could
That
you
old
could work on
Oldsmobile.
that.
Or the
Well, you could
Cadillac.
open it up. It's only 16 to 1 on one of those, if I remember right.
Something like that.
So you could run it on E85 without a problem. The problem's getting a spark plug into it.
Why though? It looks to me like you could get it. I mean, you probably would have to work on your seats or something in the region
Well,
plug.
If you ground out the pre-chamber, but then you're going to lose a bunch of compression.
Never
It's been
thought
a
of
while
that
since I've
before.
looked
That's
at
neat.
the heads.
Back in the 80s, weren't they doing that? Taking them old Cadillac and Oldsmobile 350 diesels, converting them to gas and racing
Well, they
them?
were punching them out and then putting gas heads like the 69 heads and the 403 heads on them.
Yeah.
You do that, but you lose all the compression.
Yeah. But, if you're going to run on pump gas, you could have like a really heavy, thick block.
Wild Rose says that the Olds is 22.
Okay, 22 and a half.
Yeah.
22 and a half.
That would be hard to do on E85, but E98 and straight ethanol, no problem.
Wild
You
Rose.
get a ton of mileage out of it. Holy smokes.
Oh, I bet.
12 to 1 is kind of the break-even point. If you have 12 to 1 compression or higher, you'll actually use less ethanol than you would gasoline.
Really?
Yep.
That's
If you're
surprising.
under that, you're going to always lose mileage. And 8 to 1, you're just going to lose a lot of mileage with ethanol.
Huh.
So if you're going to build an engine and you want to go really fast and drive around on the street, build an alcohol engine and put as much compression as your design will allow.
Interesting. Fascinating stuff.
You don't need it, but you can use it. So why not?
We need to have you on for a whole live about this. This would be interesting to do on a regular live. We have a big crowd.
Yeah. Well, I just did one with a couple of guys I know that talk about political stuff and men's rights kind of things and military stuff. Well, it's because I'm divorced, so I kind of got into those guys too a little bit. So I have like a wide range of people that I talk with. So, if you've been divorced, dude, I feel you.
A few times. Yeah.
And if you haven't been divorced, well, hope it doesn't happen to you.
But hey, if you go back and marry the first one again, it's only one, right?
I don't know. I'm definitely not going to do that. She weighs well over 300 pounds and is addicted to Oxy. So nope.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, that's a tough title search to ensure. That's why you can't street a 100 horsepower engine. I don't know why not. Not
Sure
all.
you can.
I was going to say, I don't know why not.
Yeah.
Danny Boyd.
Same here, Dan. Never doing that again. I like living indoors, not in my car.
You got the car?
Well,
I got a plate and a fork.
I found a trick, at least with my ex. I had a whole bunch of muscle cars, a couple of Trans Ams and my 79 Formula that was like my street strip toy, the 70 Goat, but they were all ugly. I didn't paint them. She kept me too broke to paint them, right? So when we got divorced, she was like, well, I don't want nothing to do with that because I'd have to try to sell it and just no. And she was assuming they weren't worth anything because they weren't shiny.
Well,
So
there
don't
we
paint
go.
your car if you're married.
So it was an affirmative statement. Got it. That's unusual.
Now you know why my yard looks like it does.
Have you seen my yard?
Yeah, I like it.
This GM heaven here.
I spread it around a little bit, though. I got every make and model, year, you name it, it's out there somewhere.
I don't have every make and model. I got things that I like and things that were given to me.
I just got things that are slow enough for me to catch.
Oh, I think the weird hour is descending upon us.
Hey, whenever I show up, it's the weird hour.
Rabbit Transit says good night, all.
See you, Rabbit.
Later, Rabbit.
Did you get it? Did he make the 1,000?
I'm sure he did because a bunch of people said they got him over. So
That's cool.
NSB's got some profound wisdom here.
Yep.
I think you're right.
It's kind of like, statistics show that if your parents didn't have children, neither will you. Yeah, if you guys got ethanol questions, just throw them in there.
Yeah, this is cool. Cool.
I've been doing this for 16 years now.
Would you be game for coming on a live and
Yeah,
we do a whole live just on ethanol and fuel distilling and stuff like that? That'd be cool. Yeah, let's plan on that sometime. I think that'd be neat. We'll advertise it and get a crowd out and we'll discuss it.
Yeah, I'll shoot you the email. Then you can.
Well, I should have your email. You're registered. Yes, SRP.
I'm not sure which one I used.
I already acknowledged I read your comment wrong. Yes, I did. You gave an affirmative statement. It was bizarre, and I read it wrong.
But yeah, 1,300 horse on alcohol, no problem. Especially with turbos. Oh, geez. Turbos just make everything so nice.
You said something. So Pat Musey said one time when he was doing the fastest streetcar stuff about 20 years ago, he didn't say who it was, but I'm pretty sure it was Bob Rieger. Pretty sure it's who it was. Bob Rieger shows up with turbos and just blew the whole field away with a small block. I want to say it was a Kenny Duttweiler small block, right, on turbos. Blew away all these cars running 650 inches and spray and everything else. And said, unless you want to just destroy this class, you need to tell that car to load up and never come back. Because turbos have just become, they really are a whole different thought. It's kind of like rocketry. People think of rocketry as a whole different thing, but they don't think of turbos as a whole different thing. And I think they should. Well,
yeah, you don't have a belt drive in it. You're not relying on the atmosphere to push fuel or air into it, and it's not like nitrous where you can go too much and then break things. Well, you can still go too much and break things, but turbos are a hell of a lot more forgiving.
I always thought it'd be cool to take both, a centrifugal supercharger and a turbo, and then hook the centrifugal up on like an AC clutch.
Yeah.
So it shuts off when the turbo takes over.
Rick Doberton did that on his J2000. Remember the little orange car with the whole body flipped up? He had 2 turbos blowing into a Ritz blower.
Wow. Golly.
Rods and streetcars had a question there.
Oh, and it's real quick. Speaking of Pat Musey, if any of you guys don't know that he was on People's Court about 20 years ago, check it out. You're welcome. All right, where's rods and streetcars? He's asking, what's the difference in the higher E85 or E88?
Okay, E85, that's the stuff you get out of the pump. And by law, it can be 70% alcohol or up to 85%. Although most of us that have been testing it in the last few years in the middle of summer, we're finding it like 85 to 90%. So the more ethanol you have, the less problem you have with spark knock and pinging and all that. The more gasoline you have, the more problems you have with spark knock and everything else. E98 is only 2% gasoline or something else that they mix with it to denature it. If you're gonna make moonshine like I do, if you use it on site, like if I put it in my generator or put it in a vehicle that doesn't go anywhere, run out of my chainsaws, whatever, I don't have to denature it. I can run straight alcohol.
Wow.
If I take it out on the highway, I have to denature it.
Huh.
I have to poison it so nobody can drink it.
Huh. Interesting. So, what are you planning on bringing and running at the No Name Nationals? This brings up a good question.
My 68 Le Mans.
Okay. And you're going to run it on Homebrew, right?
Well, Homebrew or E85, whichever I have more of.
Okay. All right.
It's getting a few changes from the video I made of it.
Okay. I'm
I
excited.
did a call out on two hacks.
I'm really excited. I think it's just super cool. We've got so much diversity coming to that event.
Yeah, not many Pontiac guys, though. We're like a niche of a niche.
There's Capri 82. He's visiting us from Cabral's network. I cannot watch Cabral. I cannot make it those days. But I go over and read the comments periodically because they're quite entertaining.
I've never seen his channel.
Cabral, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an old toothless bitter dude who hates Uncle Tony, and he's made 600 videos hating Uncle Tony's garage for like the last 2 years. That's what he spent his life doing. It's interesting.
Why would you hate Tony?
You know what? I have no idea. He just does. I guess it's because he's like retired military or something, and he's just the administrative guy, and Tony's the complete opposite. He didn't follow everybody else's orders and do everything properly and get the pension, but yet he has success and friends and stuff. I think Cabral's just horrendously jealous and bitter. But the guy's made like 600 videos hating Uncle Tony. It's unbelievable. Cabral, interestingly, he's got 300 subscribers plus or minus. So he needs to get a couple hundred more and be eligible to participate in that. We would love to have him.
Maybe he's just trying to get famous, bugging Tony.
I don't know. I really don't know. I was banned over there proactively. Never made a comment, but he banned me just on principle. Couldn't tell you.
Guilt by association.
I guess. Don English got a comment tossed over there, but he hadn't been banned yet. I don't know. It's pure silliness, but it is kind of entertaining. We're actually going to have in Capri 82, if you're in it, you can let Cabral know. We're going to have a roped off troll seating section, prime time front row real estate at the No Name Nationals, a troll seating section. So if any of our trolls want to come sit in it and identify themselves, we can come interview them. We would love to meet our trolls in person. Yes, Mopar Mitch, Capri 82. He's hanging out here. But he's civil and cool, so that's fine.
Hoobie's Garage is uncle's vet sounds really interesting to me. I like that.
Go check his channel out too. He's only got 2 videos up so far, but he's got some dang cool stuff coming.
Well, come on, man. Get on them videos, Hoobie. Jay West, what are we waiting on?
Capri 82, since you post over there and aren't blocked, you can make sure to tell Underdoggo over there he can choke on one, and Smokey's, who's that? Smokey's Ghost, whatever. You can tell a few of them I said hi. SRP is not really a troll. I think he daydreams about being a troll, but he's not really a troll.
He's a troll wannabe.
I totally agree with this. I don't get that at all. But the rope said, we're going to have a roped off section for trolls. Dallas and I are all about it. I mean, they have so much to say about us. Let's have them in there.
I'm just looking forward to meeting all you bastards.
Yeah, these are just people that are over there in Cabral's comments occasionally. If you see them, feel free to say hi. Underdoggo really hates me for some reason, and the Smokey's Ghost guy or whatever. So if you see them, because I can't comment over there. I can only read them occasionally.
I like to have fun, and drama isn't fun to me.
Nah.
Now,
Well,
if I like you, I'll flip you shit or maybe flip you off and be like, but it's because I like you. If I don't like you, I'm really polite to you. Oh yeah, that's just really nice. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. That means I don't like you much.
Streetcar Chronicles in the house. Good to see you. Paul Shea. Okay. So since Paul asked, I have to do this periodically. Let's see if I can make this any bigger. Well, it's kind of smaller, but let's see. Let me just do this since Paul asked.
Yeah, there you go.
This picture is one that I found in a house, a vacant house I was doing an inspection on for Wells Fargo. I think it was Wells Fargo, the mortgage company. And apparently the guy that owned the house, and I got this from the family, they gave it to me, asked permission. It was abandoned in the house. The guy had apparently taken a picture of Gravedigger 2 and an old truck called, looks like the Equalizer, ran out of Tennessee. They collided right there where he was sitting, so he took a picture. And he blew it up this big and framed it. It's kind of goofy, but there it is. So because it's framed in glass, I use that to attach my boards here for the No Name Nationals. Countdown. So there you go. Weird as that is, that's the story.
Well, that's a cool story.
197, 196 now, probably.
And yeah, we're 8 minutes in the east from being 196. and I'll show you if I have it here somewhere. I was going to say I've already printed out 195 because that will be Friday when Al is on.
And I got 3 days just getting there, so woo.
Yeah. It's only 700 miles for me, so I can do that easy in 1 day. But yeah. I want to go around Illinois. I just don't like driving.
Yeah. There. No, not at all. Now in Illinois, I've never set foot in Illinois.
I've been there a bit. Thing is, if I get pulled over and they search my vehicle, I'm going to jail.
All right.
Most other states, I'm fine.
So I teach firearms. I have for a long time. I know a friend. He's a fellow instructor, taught for years. I won't say the school because I don't want to get him identified. But he's from Kentucky, and he whatever geographically, there's some reason he goes through Illinois regularly. Well, he got in a traffic stop in Illinois. And they wanted to search. And he said no. And then they went down the litany of questions. He said, no, I'm not going to. He said, furthermore, the Supreme Court has decided that 20 minutes is a reasonable amount of time to detain a motorist without probable cause on a traffic stop. So what are we doing here? He said, you've already used, whatever it was, 15 minutes of that. They said, well, we're going to get a dog out here. He says, well, you better hurry because you got about 5 minutes. He said, now we all know when the dog gets here, it's going to alert because you've already decided it's going to alert before it gets here because that's a crooked scam. But he said, you got 5 minutes to get it here. I'm leaving. They cut him loose. Now, if they'd have searched the truck, he had all kinds of stuff that Illinois would have frowned upon, I'm sure. But
oh, yeah.
he's like, woo. I said, I bet driving away, you released half the seat cushion in your truck, didn't you?
I'm not going to drive around with any of my vehicles and not be able to, stop somebody if they're like, oh, well, we're going to take your junk. I'll be like, well, first, you're going to need special instructions just to move it and start it. But that's if you get me out of it without, springing leaks and getting extra custom ventilation.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
In Missouri, the show me state, hell yeah, we're all about it.
Just keep the ammo in the truck. Oh, no, nowhere near that simple. But speaking of that, I took a 1911 operators course in Southern California a couple years ago, only because I wanted to do some training with Ken Hackathorn before he retired, and that was the last class that he ever taught. He is retired now. And I'm like, okay, so I've got to go to the People's Republic of California to do this. Boy, this is going to get interesting. So California's got something stupid law that you can't get more than 50 rounds across the border without, all of this stuff. So Anyway, I had to figure out how I was going to do that. So just keep the ammo in the trunk. I mean, how many rounds do you want to keep? I mean, that class was a 1,000-round class. And I'm not going to go do a 4473 to get ammo in California. And I can't run to Vegas, every break to get another 50 rounds. I mean, so, you gotta improvise in that situation.
Yep. I just drive, a little bit over the speed limit in Illinois, so I don't draw any attention.
Like I was saying, when I worked for the wholesaler, the Hearst Ace Hardware in Mesquite, Nevada, used to get pallets of Rugers because we couldn't get them into California.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't live there. I can't live in a state that doesn't let me, carry something and makes me inspect my car because I just don't believe in, parking brakes.
Well, to me, America's wherever I'm standing. So if they decide to redraw the line behind me, they're going to do that at their own, that's their choosing, not mine.
Yep. There's that too.
Shop 209 says I got pulled over with an allegedly stolen barricade with flashing yellow light in the back seat.
I think Shop 209 is one of those guys that would just be fun to hang out with.
I like that.
Especially back when we were all in our 20s.
Johnny Opar says we have $6 a gallon gas. Yes, you do. I don't know what to tell you. I'll tell you what, Johnny Mopar. You guys take your state back, and I'll come work on second shift for you.
You can't get me to live there. Just no.
No way.
What's gas like in Pennsylvania right now? I know they're the highest tax.
I don't know. I'm in Pennsylvania 2 days a year to go to Chrysler's at Carlisle.
Well, here in Marquette, it's $4.30. I go to Munising, it's $3.99. Marquette's always gouging everybody.
We're at like $4.19.
The Canadians are getting hit hard too. Hey, yeah. Wild Rose, Big Belly, any of you Canadians in here? What's gas running where you guys are? Pennsylvania. Indeed. Yeah, see, Shop 209, he's in Georgia. It's 405. I was in North Georgia day before yesterday, and it was $4.19 a gallon.
And I'm going off premium. That's all I can run.
Oh, I'm going off 87.
Okay.
$4.30 for 87. Premium's okay, way over $5.
Andy G is saying that's $1.65 a liter. So if I do a little mathematicianing here.
Well, it's roughly $4.
That's $6.25 Canadian. Shopcat says converts to about $4.50 a gallon. Yeah, well, that's $1.65 Canadian. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Well, Canadians got a whole bunch of maple trees up there. I'll tell you what. They got cattails too.
Southern California.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't have to make alcohol from corn or tree sap. You can make it from all kinds of stuff. If you live in Florida, who lives in the South and have seen kudzu or kudzu?
Oh, we got it everywhere.
Okay. Kudzu grows a foot a day with just nothing but sunlight.
Yeah.
Right?
Stuff's crazy.
Yeah. You can take that, chop it up, like hit it with a food processor, a weed whacker, whatever.
You can eat it.
Yeah. Well, you can eat it, but you can also make fuel from it. So you got an invasive species that's smothered in the forest down there. You go out, chop it all up.
Country boy.
You can make fuel from it.
Hey, Country Boy Gas Garage, you going to make some kudzu fuel for your school bus?
Yeah, oughta.
Oh, he's over there in the blackberries.
We are all going to grit our teeth hard on getting fuel to go to Sykeston. So I'm hoping it comes down before then, but
I'm hearing it's going to be $10 by the end of July.
Well, we asked for it. We got it.
I didn't ask for it.
No, I didn't either, but we collectively asked for it and we got it. Yeah,
Search kudzu to ethanol. There's a kid in Florida. Well, he's not a kid anymore. This is 20 years ago. That's he figured out how to do it, and he might be able to tell you how if he's still around and still doing it.
Well, and that's the attitude that I take in general. I mean, it's not going to stop me from going there, but that's why I say we'll just grit our teeth and do it, because it's not going to stop me from going there.
We might be hoteling it instead of bringing the motor home, but yeah, we're all going.
Well, I'm going to be sleeping in my truck.
Yeah.
That's if I find somebody to watch my dogs. Otherwise, my dogs got to sleep with me in the truck.
Dust Devil Garage, you don't need to worry about gas. You need to worry about that orange sheet behind me. That's what you need to worry about.
Yeah, I can't subscribe to everybody.
Waiting for no one.
And take those batteries out of that clock. I can hear the tick from here.
This is still on my desk. This is the battery to his clock. I just didn't want the clock ticking in a box going through the mail. I thought it might get delayed. Yeah, we got all kinds of interesting stuff on this live. 500 subs for BareRose, ethanol, gas politics.
Yeah, the way I see it, you can hate on ethanol if you want, but even if we make it out of corn, that's fuel that we made here in the U.S. It's not coming from Russia or Canada or Saudi Arabia, somewhere where people hate us. We're making it here. So you might as well use homegrown fuel the way I see it. And if you can run around with 13-to-1 or 16-to-1 on compression and have a lot of fun driving around your hot rod with it, why not? Just do it.
Dust Devil, scared of the bears. Use it as a clock, man. Fire it up and use it as a clock. Now, here's one I don't even understand. I'm sure Sykeston's a fine place, but at night, dude, we're going to have the whole gated track community to ourselves. What in the world difference is it going to make?
Talk about video surveillance. My goodness.
We're as fine as it gets.
Yeah, we'll be able to leave our toolboxes open and tools laying all over the place because there'll be 200 racers there.
We could have this event in the scariest place in the world, but considering the group and fenced in and all of that, we're fine. Now, I can't promise what it would be like outside of that, but we'll be fine.
It's going to be on 24-hour live surveillance.
Yeah, it'd be a really impossible place for somebody to get out of the gate stealing something. Glad you asked, Roadkill Customs. So we have camping available, but you need to have your own power. We don't have any power available for camping spots, but you can camp there. So participants who want to camp can.
There is motorhome hookups, though, right?
No, I mean you have to have a generator.
Okay.
You bring your motorhome, you got a generator. There's a little bit of power, but it's already promised out. Like the track operator is going to be using the power, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, Sykeston's in the middle of nowhere.
Well, I'll just get me a converter and a bunch of my batteries out there. I'm going to do the Uncle Tony thing and revive a bunch of dead batteries and see if it works.
Hey,
everybody gave him a hard time, so I'm going to be like, well, these are definitely dead.
It'll work. I'd like to see him load tested that one first, but
yeah. Well, I'm going to hook it up. I'm going to be like, well, we're going to show you that it actually works because I know it'll work.
We never did it with a welder, but we used to boil them like that with the.
I don't have any dislike for you. I just don't know anybody wants to hang around over on that horrible despair channel. It just makes no sense to me. I don't know why in the world Lamb Chop does. I was just completely beyond me. I don't get it. I really don't get it. He's a sideshow. You watch him, but then to continue to watch that dude just hate and hate. I mean, those videos are 15, 20 minutes long. It's crazy.
Life's too short.
I say that about everywhere I go. I'm carrying right now. I mean, I carry. It's part of my lifestyle. If you say I'm going here, so I'm going to carry, well, you're already way behind because that means it's not part of your lifestyle. You need to carry every day on a day when you think there's no chance of something happening, because otherwise you're not going to have it, and you're not going to have your training. You need to get training too. A lot more to it than that.
Well, I got the training, enough years in the military. So shot expert 4 times.
Yeah, there's a lot to training. I mean, there's
Yep.
a lot to it, and yeah, that's a whole other conversation. I'm talking about Brian Cabral's channel. It's his toothless old dude that spent the last 2 years of his life hating Uncle Tony's garage. Check it out, Brian Cabral. On occasion, he decides to hate me or Andy Wood too, or Austin from the Junkyard Jet. He's got the few satellite, that he hates too.
Every once in a while, he hates me for alcohol.
Stay traffic clown. Yeah, so this was an interesting call out. Homebrew Garage did an interesting call out for Junkyard Mook and Junkyard Diggs. Just know there's a lot of people who, have either registered or they have, said they're coming and whatnot, but I'm letting them do their announcement videos. So just saying. Anyone else been shot at?
A few too many times, Shop. I got 2 wars under my belt. Of course, I didn't get shot at all in the second one. I stayed in the Hilton on the waterfront there in Kuwait City and ran the airport.
He is making Georgia pretty rough.
Does rock salt count? That's how I learned to leave them tomatoes alone.
Almost.
Tomatoes, not a daughter. That little white tank top song.
And boy, that stuff stings. Oh, Lord.
I had a gun pointed right at my face last weekend, but it was just by one of those typical untrained carriers who hasn't made guns part of his lifestyle. I mean, all time. I've had guns pointed at me more. You wouldn't have any. You teach firearms professionally for years and years and years. You've been pointed that a gun points you more times than you ever want to care to count. You just got to be calm, be cool, see where their finger is. Don't get them all excited. Fix the problem. It's cool. It's not good. It's never okay, but you get used to it. It happens inadvertently. Something in the hood. I don't know what that means. Oh yeah, this is good. So this your picture, you got that thing right there in the middle of your screen is a chunk of the Berlin Wall.
Yep.
Cool. I remember when that wall came down. I watched some of that on television. It was interesting.
Yep, I was there. Met my first Russian girl. Man, she was cute. And then in Korea, I met more.
Well, Country Boy Gas Garage, I'm sure hoping you can come out to Sykeston. And as an added bonus, I would love for you to be able to figure out the bus. So, oh my gosh, there goes the neighborhood. Jed is here. Check it out. He built a good racking chisel. Now you've got to do that. I would love to see that. And just as a reminder, anybody who wants to come in is welcome to. We're just hanging out. I won't go too much longer. I got to roll out of here and haul off a bunch of trash in the morning and make a couple other stops, do a bunch of work.
Cool seeing you, Jed.
I think I might have to call out Scott.
Oh,
show these Mopar guys what's up.
Whoa! You gonna show Jed and Jezebel what time it is?
Maybe.
Oh, Jed, come on here. Shop 209's here.
What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
How's it going?
Man, you look all comfy on the couch.
Yeah, it's late here. So I figured I had to tell the story about the traffic barricade. Yeah.
It's late here.
Yeah, kill your YouTube browser.
Yeah,
There we
mute
go.
the
Got it.
YouTube.
Yep. So I figured I'd tell the story about the traffic barricade real quick. So one of my buddies, he wanted one of those barricades with a flashing yellow light on it for his room. We were about 16 or so, and our other buddy, Greg, was 17. And so we just happened to find a barricade that someone had abandoned on the side of the road at a construction area. We thought it was abandoned, it was flashing. There was some construction going on. We figured who would leave it here? They must want us to take it. So we put it in the back of Greg's Pontiac Grand Prix, a 76 Pontiac Grand Prix that was totaled as it sat. I mean, it was junk. It had been T-boned and the door, it was awful. So we put it in the back seat, but we didn't know there was a pin you had to put in the light to turn the light off. So we took our jacket and put a big jacket over it. But as we're going down the main street in our town, the whole back of the car is just flashing yellow. Boom, boom, boom. And all of a sudden we get pulled over and we think we're going to jail. And Greg was driving, not me, but we think we're going to jail. And dang, this cop gets out. She's a lady cop, and she was a 10 out of a 10. I mean, she was fine. And, we're all like 16, 17. And so Greg pulls over. Turns out his license was suspended and he didn't know it.
Oh, no.
So the whole time we're sitting here dying, thinking we're going to jail for stealing this traffic barricade. And she takes him to jail for driving on a suspended license. And me and my other buddy have to drive his car home. But she never asked to see our license, and we didn't have one yet. Just
It was a government operation for sure.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was a pretty fun night with the traffic barricade flashing all the way down the main strip.
I might have to make a video about that because construction season's coming up.
There you go. But yeah, BareRose, congratulations on getting to your subs, man. It's they'll
Thanks,
start
man.
you now.
Yeah, I subbed to you before you had 100. I'm like, come on, man, do it, get it.
Had that gun 25 years, never jammed once, and you've hardly ever fired it either. I'll tell you that right now.
You ever did an office pop?
I've run my AK hard. You will get jams if you run your. If you don't get any jams, you're not running your stuff hard enough. I don't care what you're training with.
Well, my SKS
block. If you
never
don't get
jammed.
a jam, you're not training hard enough.
My Spaz 12 will stovepipe if you don't have good enough shotgun shells in it. But my SKS, it's just like 30 round clip. Don't care.
Take that SK to Sonny Pazika's class and come back and tell me it didn't jam.
I've got a Browning Sweet 16. It'll jam if you use cheap shells in it.
Anything will jam if you run it hard enough.
Of course, I lost all my guns in a tragic, just horrible ice fishing conflagration last July. The ice just exploded into flames and everything I had burnt in July. It was just horrible.
If you haven't seen an SKS jam, you've not trained hard with them.
Henry's Lake has got a lot of firearms in it.
If you think it's time to bury your guns or lose them in a boating accident, it's time to dig them up.
Yeah.
Congrats on the 500. Yes, indeed.
Thanks, heavens. Yours is coming. That last video you did with all your kids and everything, that was great.
Capri, that's because they will. You run them hard enough to jam. Most people never run their stuff that hard.
My AR's never jammed, but it's a bow.
It is non-American. It's a commie gun. I like commie guns.
Well, the SKS is a good design. The AK is a pretty decent design,
Yeah, I think AK is a wonderful design. The people who don't like AKs are the people who are real into machine work and all this stuff. They can't get over the fact that the thing flexes. But the reality is that design is
all over.
More reliable. I mean, an AK is so much less finicky than an AR, and that's part of the reason why. On paper, an AK shouldn't work, but they do.
Well, they have a little bit of clearance in them.
Well, yeah, they have, but there's other things too that people
About
don't.
3/4 of an inch.
Well,
And
like,
man, that SKS bolt is just like stupid easy.
well,
And
okay,
I worked in a machine shop back in the 80s before I enlisted, and I was making AR M16 bolts. I was cutting the slide where the ejector's at and then drilling the holes that are in it. And I did a few thousand of those. And I had no idea what they were when I was working at the machine shop. Then I enlist and take apart my M16. I'm like, oh, I know what the hell that is. I might have made this part. And it's like, it's tight tolerances too. Not like the SKS and the AK. It's just like you could do those on a bench grinder.
okay. So I like both. I have because just depends. I have both. I like both. They both have their application, but I mean, there are things that are much better about both. One thing that's superior about an AK, people don't talk about enough. AK has an extractor like a freaking crowbar. Okay, that's how you can run that steel case stuff through them and not break them. There's certain things that both have advantages on. The AK flexes so hard you can literally feel it and see it flex when you shoot it. AR, of course, doesn't do that. AR won't go through the mud like an AK will either.
Yeah, that steel core full metal jacket goes through 16-inch trees and doesn't even slow down.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
Okay, so I can't tell you with the SK. I can tell you with the AK, the best mags for the AK are the Bakelite mags, and they're real expensive. They're $100 a pop. I've also had really good luck with the P mags in most AKs, but they don't fit some.
I don't even have an AK.
AKs rule, man. I love them.
Neither do I.
They were always too expensive. I didn't want to spend that much on one. And the only reason I got an AR is because, how many years did I have to haul one around or tear them apart and shoot them and everything else? So I knew them. So I'm like, I'll just get an AR because I know the platform.
I remember when AKs were cheap. And I remember when nobody wanted a Wasser. And now the people are all about them. I kind of have an unusual AK. Mine's a Mahdi, made Mahdi, Egypt, which, a lot of guys like they're made AKs in a bunch of different countries. But mine was made in Mahdi, Egypt, which is unusual. It's got a different looking stock on it. And it's really different. It's cool. Runs great, too.
A friend of mine just bought a Tech 9 at a pawn shop and had the original receipt from it from 1989. He took it to the range. He had it like 3 months. He finally took it to the range and shot it. Turns out it is full auto. And the lady that runs the range is a class 3. And she come out there and asked him if he had a license. He said no, and I didn't know this thing was automatic. This is the first time I've shot it. So she's holding it for him until she can try to unmodify it.
Oh boy, yeah.
Because now he can't. Now what do you do? Because it's not registered.
No, what you do is you tell them that you tell them that something broke inside and get out of there. You don't need that person getting involved with you.
I think she's going to help him out. I think he knows her, so it's okay.
Some people help you into a corner you can't get out of.
Yeah, that is true.
Especially at ranges.
That's why I got a range in my backyard.
There was a guy that showed up. I was at a Glock instructor workshop, and this was probably, 6-7 years ago. And the dude, he was screwing around with his Glock in his hotel room the day before class and messing around with the trigger bar, and he wound up making the thing accidental 3 or 5 round burst or something. Because in a Glock, if you bend the trigger bar, it'll make the thing run full auto, but you can't control it. You can't control when you let off the trigger. It's a mess. It's a mess. You wouldn't want to do that. And people have messed him up doing that stuff. Well, anyway, this guy had accidentally bent the trigger bar. So he couldn't control the pistol after that. So anyway, at lunchtime, the instructor said, the nice thing is when you train at Glock, the warranty department is right upstairs above the range. So they have everything you can need for a Glock problem, any model, anything. And so at lunchtime, they took care of his pistol and said, yeah, somebody been in there monkeying around with the trigger bar, probably trying to enhance it, probably watching a YouTube video on how to improve it and screwed it up. If I told you what the guy did for a living, you'd be terrified. But anyway, they got his gun fixed and all was good.
2 years for a Mossberg? Wow.
Holy.
Man, I could never live out there. You know, Detroit and Lansing area, that gives me enough pause as it is. You know, if I could find land back in Nebraska that I could afford, or down there in Missouri, I'd be gone.
Where are you at, Thumper?
Northern Michigan,
Okay. Okay.
way the hell up by Lake Superior.
Oh, wow.
I still got
You
a
up
lot
in
of
the
snow.
UP?
Yep.
Later, Shop Cat.
See you, Shop Cat.
I've always wanted to go to Travers.
I've shot those wild rose, never owned one. I know a guy that's got a few of them. It's a pretty hot little round, but never owned one. I'm not a gun guy. I'm a gun training guy. Two very different things.
I like certain guns. I'm more of a car guy.
Yeah.
Guns are fun, but cars are more fun.
Yeah, I like cars.
No.
too. I like Chevy Novas. One day I'm going to get one.
Well, guns. So look,
What color?
All of them.
All of them.
guns are my lifestyle, not my hobby. Cars are my hobby, but guns are my lifestyle. I carry a gun every day, but it's not like something I lay awake at night thinking of something cool to do like I do with cars.
Well, I don't
I
have
can't wait for you to
one
get
on me
back
in the
on that
shop.
J.
Later, NSB.
Come on, Henry J.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to order some window rubbers for it, and there only one guy in the world produces them, and you got to send him a telegram, I think. So he's in California. You have to call him. It's very hard to get in touch with him, and you have to mail him a check, and then when the check clears, he sends you the parts.
Really?
Yeah, but he's got all the molds and stuff for all the Henry J stuff.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Danny Boyd, tell her to go take a real class with that, shoot about 500 rounds over a day or two, and see how that pink handgun works. If it works for her at the end of that, more power to her. I have a feeling that she'll change her opinion about it completely.
Well, my daughter likes her 380.
Thank you, Wendy.
I got her an S&W Easy 380. She couldn't charge any of my 45s. She's like really struggling and then trying to pull the trigger on them. She's just like, oh, this is too much. I'm like, I got just the idea. Let's go get you one.
Yeah. I have all kinds of people coming. I teach them to run them off their belt or whatever they have to do. I mean, because you carry with one in the chamber, you're the odds that you're going to actually reload that in the middle of a fight are very slim. So I'd rather them shoot with than worry about them charging them. But there's a whole, you can go on a whole wild, range of topics. Johnny Mopar, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you.
Yep. Let's see, what time is this?
Hubie, waiting for lumber to come down. You know when lumber's going to come down? Lumber's going to come down after the month of April because I'm going to buy thousands of dollars of lumber in April. That's how we know lumber's going to come down.
And then it's going to drop.
In May, lumber will be cheaper.
That's right. The week after I do Rocky Mountain Race Week, gas will be $1.50 a gallon again.
Yeah.
October 2nd. Or no, after I get home. Yeah.
Man, I want to do Rocky Mountain Race Week because I was on bang shift for a long time. I want to go and just, and it's through my home state. It's usually in Nebraska or Kansas.
Yeah, this one starts in Kansas, Nebraska, and Denver or Colorado.
Yeah,
but
I mean, Kearney's
I
my
just
home
got
track.
lucky getting in. I just got real lucky getting in because there was only like 30 tickets and there was a couple of thousand people trying to get in. So,
yeah, Kearney's my home track. I've got well over 200 passes down that.
I got you. But I'm ready for No Name Nationals. I'm more excited about that than I am Race Week because I'm terrified of Race Week. I'm excited about No Name Nationals.
No Name Nationals. Nobody should be stressed out about it.
Right. It's just going to be a good time. It's going to be fun.
Well, even if I get down there and my shit won't start, I'm gonna have fun.
Sure, we're gonna have a blast.
You know, and all the content. Oh man, we're gonna have all kinds of fun videos.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm not worried at all about that. It's just going to be a good time. Going to meet some good folks. So,
Jason Fitch, you gotta prove it to him. He's taking actual. Get him take a force class at a place like Tactical Response or TDI in Ohio. He'll learn a whole lot about the empty chamber carry. Force classes is where people learn that when they think otherwise. Guy tried telling me the other day a 4x8 sheet of plywood's $100. No, it's $65. Ask me how I know.
well, I can tell you a sheet of birch. A
I'm
sheet of
about
birch.
40 of them.
Yeah, a sheet of birch is about $88 here.
I'm buying 40 sheets of plywood, $65 a sheet.
Ouch.
How thick is it?
3/4.
Well, I guess being close to Canada is kind of a bonus for me because the lumber's cheaper here. It's only about $1 or $2 more than it was before all the stupidity. Because, you know, it's kind of like Texas has cheaper gas. I get cheaper lumber.
They're building so many houses here, it's crazy. So,
You know, Jed, no, that exhaust.
That's the problem here.
That exhaust is a signature thing.
OSB went back to $18 a sheet, but you can't get it. It's always out.
Dan,
And they won't let you buy it by the bunk anymore.
Dan,
You have to buy it by the sheet.
Man, maybe I could make some money hauling it.
College is really difficult for people to make the best decisions when carrying. There's a lot of compromising has to go on. Backpack might be the best you can do, unfortunately, but it's certainly better than not. Jed's keeping the zoomies. I'm glad for that.
all right, guys, I got to go. Y'all have a good night, man.
Yes, sir.
Great seeing you, Shop.
Later, Shop.
Yep. See y'all later.
Thanks for joining us. Glad you're keeping the zoomies.
He was another one I caught way early. Shop 209.
Everything is through the roof right now. Everything is through the roof. Labor is through the roof because the government's paying people not to work. Wire is through the roof. Lumber's through the roof. Roofing material is insane. Yeah, everything is just crazy right now. Everything. Well, I don't subscribe to Callie's logic because I don't believe Callie has any right to appraise what my life is worth. They didn't consult me when they made their laws, so I'm not interested in them.
And carb is our word. I want it back.
Right. That's right.
You want to know something interesting about the chairwoman of CARB? I don't know if it's still the same chick, but this is up to about like 5-6 years ago. Her husband was the lawyer that defended Exxon in the Valdez spill.
Really?
Really. And she herself owns a shit ton of coal and gas stock.
Yeah.
So go figure why she's like, nah, we don't want no ethanol. We want electric cars. I mean, there's a whole reason why they're pushing for electrics there. And it's because she's going to make money off it.
That's what makes these legislatures around the country go round.
That's why they come up here and bought us all out. We used to have the cheapest power in the country.
Yeah.
Not no more.
Watch that movie, The Distinguished Gentleman. It is so true to life how it works. So we had a freshman congressman who got in and asking, well, what should my position be on this or that? And a more experienced legislator said, well, if you're for this, I've got money for these people. If you're for that, I got money from these people. And that's how they decide what they're for or against.
What was that comedian that said that all politicians should be like NASCAR? They got all their sponsors all over them. They wear the hats and everything.
No,
so you know right who they're going to get their money from.
No kidding.
I want to say Bill Burr, George Carlin, but I don't know. I could see those guys both saying that, but I remember someone said it. Oh, you want to hear a story about the EPA under Obama? This is a fun one. Okay, so they had this chick that worked at the EPA. She was the head of it, right, under Obama. And she was under the impression that it took 100 acres of corn to make 1 gallon of gas or fuel, ethanol.
Yeah.
So Chuck Schumer, Chuck Grassley. Yeah, not Schumer. But Chuck Grassley from Iowa. He brought her out to Iowa, and they had a 1 acre plot of corn out there, just sitting there, right? So that she could visually see how big an acre was. It's a pretty good sized chunk of land, it's like you can fit your house in in town. Your town yard is about an acre usually. So she saw all that corn, and then they said, we can get 500 gallons of fuel from this acre. And it also makes cattle feed after you make alcohol from it. So better cattle feed than just the straight corn. So then she kind of like, he had to take her and show her so that she knew what the hell she was talking about. Where would she get the idea it takes 100 acres to make 1 gallon of ethanol?
I have seen the ignorance of some of our lawmakers is astounding. The people,
Hank Johnson.
Okay. So the best example on anywhere, and YouTube is full of this. Sheila Jackson Lee has the IQ of a turnip, and she continues to get reelected. She's just a blithering idiot. I mean, really, just has no idea. I'm not talking about agreeing with her policies or not. The woman has no intelligence. She probably does not have an IQ of 85. And yet she continues to bring home a bunch of money for her district and get put back in office, et cetera, et cetera. She is a moron. Go just look her up on YouTube. And it's not just a slip of the tongue here and there or getting confused. Anybody can do that. She has no idea what she's talking about.
Do you know why I brought up Hank Johnson?
Yeah, him too.
He was telling an admiral that he was concerned about Guam capsizing. Too many people lived on one side of the island. And
he played it so straight for so long, it couldn't be a joke. He really doesn't know that islands don't float. I mean, these are people who are making our laws.
We need to have an IQ test to hold office.
Well, I'm serious.
And if you're not 100, you don't get to be in office.
It's nutty. It's unbelievable.
What's that say about the constituency, though?
Well, yeah, it's what says all he wants free stuff. They couldn't care less.
Yeah.
My son's putting on a metal roof in April, $3,100 to have it done. Well, that's dirt cheap. That's really, really cheap. Really.
Yeah, the steel almost cost that.
But here's the steel cost that. But here's the thing. Watch what you do putting your steel on, because most roofers I've talked to are having an enormous amount of recall on steel because the fasteners leak. So some people make it 10 years, some people don't make it 1. Yeah, people elect them. There's a patriot in the house, White Trash Motorsports. There we go.
Hey, White Trash.
That's a cute pup.
Yeah, yeah. What kind of dog you got there? A pit?
Yep, some kind of pit.
My pit bull's asleep. He's not. Usually he sleeps under my desk when I'm doing it live, but I think he's in the living room where it's darker. He hates these bright lights I have in here.
I got Siberian Huskies, and usually the oldest one you can hear going in the background when she wants out or something.
Dizzy
Izzy.
I was thinking Dizzy Izzy was an anti-Trumper. I was thinking. I don't know. I mean, this is one of these things. Oh, you can't talk about that on a live. Well, you can on this one. I don't care. I mean, some people are scared to death. I don't care.
I'm not a Trump fan either. I hate politicians. I'm a veteran. All they did was screw me over, man.
I'm a patriot. Okay, I want people that care about our country.
I'm a constitutionalist. I believe in that.
There you go.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh.
Yeah, I do not support the Convention of States people. I mean, they sound good on paper, but it's a dangerous thing. I support our Constitution. We need to enforce it like it is, not have people trying to change it. That's my opinion.
Well, way back when I enlisted in the late 80s under Reagan, I looked into why we were fighting communists and why it was a bad sort of thing, and that's why I have a chunk of the Berlin Wall that sits on my shelf to remind me. So anything that is like even remotely to do with Marxism, I'm like, no.
Try that again, Ryan. That you ought to be able to use that link and get in.
Yeah. Come on in, so I'm not like dominating the talkings.
No, it's all fine. It's cool and fun. I just don't know why that link won't work. That's weird.
It's not the country I fought for.
I like honest people too, but honest people have a really hard time in politics because honesty is not rewarded in politics. Every legislative session, it just burns me up to watch all of the good bills and stuff go to die because the people who claim they're on your side kill them because they want to do as little as possible because they care more about getting reelected than they do about what's right for the Commonwealth.
Or they belly it up to that's nothing.
Yeah, it's. I watch it every year. It's sick. HOAs. The thing about HOAs is those people are going into mutual covenants of stupidity with each other. They can do that if they want to. I won't live in one.
Okay, up here where I live, there's this, it's a large cliff that overlooks the lake. So you get all these people from like Indiana, Chicago, Detroit, the big cities,
Absolutely.
Indianapolis. They come up here and they build these $1 million mansions so they can look out over the lake. And then they find out I can't get water because, they're on top of 600 feet of, rock. So no, you ain't going to dig a well. It just ain't happening.
Hey, Tim, you're welcome to jump in if you like.
They try to come in and tell the rest of us that live out, in the woods that, well, we need a HOA and we need to have a blight ordinance and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, go pound sand. I ain't getting rid of all my stuff. It's behind trees for a reason, so you don't know it's there.
Hey, Dizzy, I'm voting for him again. I hope he runs 2024. That's everybody can have their opinion. I just disagree completely. 318. Well, anybody can jump in. I was hoping Ryan would. He wanted to jump in. I put the link up. He said it wasn't working for him for some reason. It really should work. Let me check the invite link. Yeah, it's the same link. Mopar Mitch says he's having roof in the metal in his house and it's only 18 years old. Well, I mean, that's not bad. I'm 44. If I can get a 40-year roof, I know I'll never have to deal with it again. I'm good.
Well, I got no problem with hiring a couple of guys to go replace all the screws.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not the problem with that is you run a screw out to try to run one in, the hole's wrung out. So now what? I mean, now you make one beside it, caulking it.
Oh, wait, are you putting it on the flat spot or on the rib?
Well, it depends what kind of metal you have.
Because, up here we run the 3-rib stuff.
Yeah.
The 3 foot wide with the ribs. And we just put the screws in the rib. And even with all the snow, we don't have a problem with it. It lasts forever.
Allows it to expand and contract without pushing the screw out.
Yep.
I like how we all have a monopoly on the truth. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I've never liked Trump, but compared to what we got now, I'll take him back.
Well, there's a lot. I mean, you don't have to like who you vote for.
No.
And I don't think there's any case to be made on that. I mean, my gosh, you can't defend what's going on now. Jeez Louise.
True shoving under pressure.
I didn't need the 40-year kids could deal with it. Well, yeah, let me tell you, I don't want to get up on the top of a roof now. I sure don't want to get up on one 20 years from now. I mean, that's just that simple.
Well, I can't get up on the roof now. I'll fall through it.
Yeah. Oh. I did. I got a picture on my community tab, me working on a roof. You know, I got a. Hey, check this out. Are they still trying to figure out Monica's? Is that who he's talking about? Hey, I got my own version.
Yeah, that's got to be Monica.
Drab in here. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Our current commander in chief does not love America. He does not. He has sold us down the river.
He can't even climb a flight of stairs.
Well, he's not running anything. Party's running stuff. Here we go. Here's 318 will run. Hey, how you like this hornet's nest? Glad you're here.
John, BareRose,
How's
and
it going?
Sweaty
you
Fat
say?
Man.
What's
Thanks
that?
for coming out.
I just got home from work, and I was just gonna click on the computer, and then I saw this.
Well, you know, see, here's the
Welcome
deal.
to the party.
So I got with BareRose, and we were thinking of Thursday, and Thursday wasn't gonna work for me. So I thought we were just gonna do something spontaneous. YouTube has been docking his subs again and again, and he can't get over 500 because it keeps auditing his subs. I think the guy's probably gotten 700 subscribers and just can't ever get to 500. So I said, okay, we're going to get you there tonight. And he got it. He got it during Tony's live, plugging him, saying he only needed 18 or 19. So to here, I said, we can just celebrate. And now the conversation has devolved from no name 500 to making your own ethanol to guns to politics and stuff. So whatever, we're just hanging out.
So just free for all, hang out.
Yes.
You bet.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Just I'm trying not to get John a strike or something. So
No, we're just hanging.
I'm keeping track of my language because I can get pretty. If you watch me on Rumble when I start putting videos up there, I don't hold back when I want to make Rumble videos because they don't give a damn. You can say whatever you want there.
Well, I think we should blame people who believe in a lot of the media. We have a ton of propaganda out there. It's ridiculous.
And Facebook is not news.
Oh
No. Now 2004. Okay, remember the whole armor, the up armor kit thing for the Humvees? They said that the military wouldn't do anything about it.
Roughly, yeah.
Well,
Am I
the
lagging?
article and the news come out and said that we weren't doing anything about the armor kits
I can hear
4
you.
months after I shipped them all to Iraq. Me personally. So they lied about me. They were already in country. They were just working on getting them out to everybody.
Oh.
No, I can hear you.
I was looking at the
lying the
YouTube
first
version, and there was a delay in there.
Yeah, get rid of YouTube.
Yeah.
Go to StreamYard.
That's where I'm at
StreamYard's
now.
always real time.
Well, I open up YouTube on one window and then open up StreamYards in another. That way I can watch the chat.
Yeah, same
But
here.
I mute the YouTube one because there's a lag.
That's hard to get the hang of.
I use the comments in StreamYard. There are some advantages to YouTube, like I can pin a comment. StreamYard is always real time, and YouTube can lag. So,
Yeah. Like the live stream that I was on last night talking about my alcohol stuff with kind of a prepper group. It's kind of weird because there's like a 30-second delay between what we're talking about, and I'm just on Discord with them.
right.
So every time they go, but he puts up a scantily clad girl's rear end. So I'm just waiting for it, and it's like, oh yeah.
Nah, we're not that high tech here. We're I don't know. We're just hanging out and letting all the conversation devolve. But we'll be on. I'm not too much longer because I gotta make a run to the landfill first thing in the morning, and then I gotta go from the landfill to a law office, and then from there to a commercial building, and then from there to working in the basement of an old house. So I got a lot of variety tomorrow.
And you
Gee,
got
and
a
all I gotta
transmission
do
to
is
fix.
warm some copper.
Always. So 318 will run. I'm thinking about. So you're the van man. Got me wondering what kind of burnout this big van I've got will do.
What kind of van you got?
You haven't seen it yet because my video hadn't come out yet, but I've got an 85 B150, and it belonged to my aunt. So I'm going to be putting up video hopefully this weekend of it. I finished shooting the video on Monday. I got to put it on.
318 or is it a 360?
318, 999, 8 1/4, 294 gears. And
Cool.
it's a conversion van. Yeah, it runs fine. I just took it to Georgia this past weekend. Runs good. Just
Fun to drive.
Cosmetics are horrible. What's that?
They're fun to drive.
Yeah. You can see good out of it.
Yep.
Good visibility. It's nice. It's nice. The front springs are sagging. The springs are sagging about an inch or two in the front. And you turn right or on the brakes at all, and the tire rubs.
Oh.
So got to do a little something about that.
I got a little bit of trivia for Dodge vans, circa 1989.
Dajiban. Correct. What's that?
Yeah, I got a little bit of useful or useless information for Dodge vans. The 1989, 1990 models.
Mm-hmm.
About 95 mile an hour, the mirrors fold back.
Really?
Yeah, especially on autobahns.
Okay.
I had to run one of the kids in my unit to the hospital, so we took the Dodge van, and because it was the only one that would go over 45 mile an hour, and I was going 95 down the autobahn, and the mirrors folded back on the outside.
I saw it in Lunar's video. I wanted to see Tall John. Okay, who are you talking about, Scott? Who aren't you subscribing to? I just saw that. Yeah, Lunar on his trek from Texas up to New York. He stopped to see me on the way up. I guess he's talking about Lunar. Oh, why not?
Well, you didn't sub to me either.
Yeah, you should sub to Thumper the Sweaty Fat Guy.
That way, when I call you out, you'll know.
That's it. I'm telling you, Thumper's Le Mans versus Jezebel. Streetcar. Do you want me to email you the link? Yes, of course I still have your email. If you're in the book, I got your email.
I'll be right back. I got to step outside for a second.
I need a full channel name. It's Thumper the Sweaty Fat Guy. In fact, Jed, if you want to go straight to his channel, go to my community tab. He was the 4th channel to hit 500. And so there's a community post with a link to his channel right there.
That's pretty funny, Mopar Mitch.
Yeah. Well, all I can say is just do it. You'd be surprised.
Everybody will sub that.
Yeah, I could try. I'm gonna try to send Ryan the link here. Give me just a minute. It'll take me a second. Of course, I gotta find his email. Lumberjack, I believe, is right. Give me just a second. Try to put the link in there for him.
Good night, Wendy.
All right. See if that works, Ryan.
And thank you.
See if that works.
Was he looking for me?
Well, no, he was looking to get in here,
Oh,
and hey, Dizzy, I'll just tell you right now. I mean, I've just heard an awful lot of arguments. It's going to be very hard to sell me on the idea that we are better off with what we have now than Trump. That's just an extremely hard case to make. Just in any facet of what's going on now. That's cool. I mean, everybody, as long as people are civil. I'm not one of these people who gets upset with people I disagree with. I've never really gotten that. Some people do. I don't.
Scott or Jed, I watched your van video today with your dad. That's a pretty cool van.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
I really like it.
I dig it. I dig it. I'm not a van guy per se, but I've always said if I had an opportunity to grab my aunt's old van, if it ever came up, I could find it, I would do it. So I did. BareRose. Telling Wendy good night. She was number 500. Yep, indeed. So who's going to be 1,000?
BareRose, I think just everyone cheers for you. You're just the type of guy that everyone cheers for.
I wonder why.
Don't wonder. Just take it. Just take it.
I just push the red button and go.
That's it.
Scott's going to like at least one of my cars.
I agree. I like the old man van. Like it a lot. Like it a lot.
I've been thinking about getting a van. I kind of want one of those snub-nosed Fords or maybe a snub Dodge.
Oh, man, yes. I would love to have an A100.
Yeah. I'd want to put a modern Hemi in it, though, just for science.
Sure. Well, Bill Golden, he pretty much wrote the book on that.
I love the dashes on the 71s to the 77s.
Sure.
They're just
Bill Golden.
I made it.
Pretty much wrote your YouTube brother. Thank you.
Love the dashes on the 71s to the 77.
So was it not letting you click and get in that way from YouTube?
No, yeah, something was screwed up. I don't know what was going on with it. It was trying to make me download, I don't know, all kinds of crap again, but it's fixed now.
Strange. Well, cool. Glad it works.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Heck yeah. What are you guys up to?
Well, we've gone from congratulating BareRose Garage on getting his 500th subscriber.
Heck yeah, man.
And then we migrated into talking about ethanol and E85, homebrew fuels, talked about AKs, SKSs, and guns in general. And then we talked about politics, which everybody says you can't do that. Well, you can too.
Oh,
sure. Lives, but here I don't care. And then we're just kind of here.
Yeah.
Just a hangout. How's that?
That'll work, man.
And we're honored to have BareRose Garage, Thumper the Sweaty Fat Guy, Streetcar Chronicles, and 318 Will Run.
Heck yeah,
How cool
man.
is that?
It's going to be a fine race this winter. It'll be winter for me.
I can't wait, guys. 197 days. We'll get to meet all of you guys.
Yeah, I only got 197 days to get all my shit together.
That time is going to fly by.
Dude, it's already flying by.
My junk runs right now, but
I don't know why I had to take it apart and start over. I don't get it.
That's just time for 318 Will Run to quietly get faster.
Oh, yeah. Silent Assassin.
That's right.
2 turbos on the van.
No telling.
No balls.
The van I'm bringing down, it's going to stay a 318 2-barrel. We use that van to, we travel in our cars. So, but I got some things I'm going to do to it. I'm going to work with what it's got, but I'm not going to add anything to it. It's going to have to run like a 318 2-barrel, but I'm going to get the most out of the 318 2-barrel.
I can't decide what I want to do on this one. I have yet to take the cover off, inside the doghouse off. So I'll definitely put some plugs in it and that kind of thing, see what's leaking, et cetera, et cetera. I have a 318 4-barrel intake from a police car, and I have a new 600 Holley vacuum secondary just sitting there. And I just can't help but think, why not put that on? But I don't know. I may or may not.
Just do it so you can get that dwa when you hammer it. Whoa!
You know the cool thing, John, about a van?
What's that?
I don't know if you've ever done this, but you can take your doghouse off, floor it with a vacuum secondary, and you can watch your vacuum secondary come open.
Yeah.
Then you can change the springs and see it come open quicker or however you want to tune it.
And you can do your ignition timing right there.
Yeah.
Running down the road.
Well, unless it's a Ford.
Yeah.
Or Buick powered.
If you want to hear if it pings and where you want to time it, you can floor it up a real steep hill or give it a lot of gas up the hill and just have your distributor a little bit loose and kind of turn it where you want it.
No more
Right, exactly. Exactly. You can get your timing right by ear like that. Terry Grover, good evening. Good night. We'll see you.
Yeah, I'm excited to see old square body stuff come out there. I've been watching that guy for a while, reading that 305. I'm pretty pumped about that.
We got all kinds of cool stuff going on building up to this event. I mean, JB building the V6, square body stuff with the 305. We've got guys putting LS in a Volvo, LS in a Subaru. We just have everything.
Yep.
6 cylinders, big blocks, small blocks, nitrous, turbos. And what don't we have? We have every combination you can imagine. We have a 1,000 cubic inch tour bus. I mean, there's everything. We have everything. It's really cool.
Well, I'm bringing a 301.
Ooh. Oh, Pontiac turbo?
No, naturally aspirated.
Oh.
With a tunnel ram.
Hey. Oh. Yes. Now you're talking.
Yeah, I just ordered it. Should be here next week.
What clutch are you running that thing?
I don't run a clutch.
Oh.
My engines break 4 speeds, so I build automatics, throw them in.
Right on.
Kind of like Shop 209.
Very cool. Well, Rose, how's your build going?
How's your build going, Rose?
BareRose.
Oh, BareRose.
BareRose
Yeah.
here. Wild Rose is.
Yeah, my bad.
I was looking. Oh, is he still here?
I thought he was. How's your build coming?
She's coming. She's coming. Slow, but
yeah, I know.
She's coming.
Slowly but surely. If I can quit working on everybody else's stuff, I get a lot more work done on mine.
I'm going to try to have my house project in a state where I can stop working by the end of April. That's my goal. And then I'm going to have 2 months to throw the house at it to get my Roadrunner in shape to drive to Carlisle. 2 months. With all this parts problem and supply chain problem, 2 months to get a Roadrunner that hadn't run in 20 years and drive it to Carlisle.
Yeah, you'll make it.
Place your bets now.
2 hacks in the house.
2 hacks is here. Glad you can make it. You're welcome to jump in if you'd like.
What's going on? 2 hacks.
But Ryan.
That's another guy I want to run. I want to run that Larry T-Bird. That thing's gonna be pretty wild.
Yeah, there are some people that are going to be hot lapping the whole event, keeping up with folks who want to run them.
I got 3 races lined out. That's all I want. I want 3 races. He's one of them. I got NSB and that little dart and Barefoots or no Bigfoots in Mopar.
Yeah.
Black Pine Savage.
I'm hoping he gets everything sorted out. He's going to have a lot of power there if he gets it all sorted out.
Yeah.
So that's going to be cool. I love the look of that car. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's a great car.
Oh, here we go. We got company down here.
Hey, what's up, Wilburn?
Hey,
How's it going?
What's up, man?
Can you hear me all right? I don't have my mic.
Oh yeah.
I can
All
hear
right.
you.
Yeah, it's wrench night. We're working on a 1980 Z28.
It does look good.
blistering 16-second quarter miles.
Oh,
guys-
probably 19.4 on a lucky day.
A lot of guys talking about what they want to bring. You know what? There are enough people who've already told me what they're bringing next year that if I were to put up a 2023 No Name Nationals registration page, I would already have a good event to sell tickets to.
Yeah, because I'm bringing a 70 dart swinger next year.
I
with a
am
lot
not
of
even
cubic
kidding.
inches.
I'm not even kidding. Everybody is up in the ante on what they want to bring next year. So
Well, I was going to go
we're
slower
already in good shape.
I was going to bring my Ventura.
You know, we may, and I haven't even discussed with Dallas. We'll see. There's a chance that we'll do a pre-registration at the event for next
At the
year.
event?
We'll see.
Cool.
Because there's that
I'm
many
in.
people that are already. You got BareRose there making a 2025 call out.
Yeah.
I'll get you someday.
Sam, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. The weird hour is upon us.
Hey,
We got
John.
a few people watching. We've had a good time. So we're just chilling at the moment.
Let me show you something, John. Ready?
Yep. Ooh. Check
purple.
that out.
Yep. And there's more goodies. We got all kinds of goodies out here.
Wow.
We got all kinds of goodies. It's a wrench night. We're all tired.
Yeah, I love that fucking Torino.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah, I love that Torino.
Nope. I just wanted to pop in and say, hey, it's been a wrench night. I wasn't able to join anything tonight.
Yeah.
And actually, 2023 car, we're going to start in fall. It's going to be a 70 dart swinger with a lot of cubic inches.
Love it.
Super lightweight. BareRose, congratulations on the 500 and NSB.
Hey, thanks, man.
If I don't blow up Larry T. Bird after hot lapping it a million times, we'll run him. He'll kick my ass, but oh well.
No.
Coming out to this.
So,
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
I will catch you guys on the flip side. I actually have to work early in the morning. It's 12 here. I'm going to be here
Me
for about
too.
another 2 hours. And Friday, I'm heading out to a couple other channels out in Kansas and going to the World of Wheels.
All right.
Sweet.
Cool.
I will
See you.
catch you guys on the flip side.
Sounds good.
Later,
Thanks,
Thanks
gentlemen.
for coming out.
Appreciate
Thanks for coming out, Jeff.
See ya.
See ya.
I appreciate when
That
people
guy's
swing
too
in.
cool.
So, for those of you that missed it, Rapid Transit Garage got 1,000 subscribers now.
Man,
So cool.
I know. The guy just a couple weeks ago got the 500. He's already 1,000.
that's
Pretty
awesome.
soon he's going to start making them big dollars. And then we'll have to sit through all them ads on his channel.
Yeah. Dang it.
Yeah.
Freaking ad.
More
You know,
mailing
it's
hand
like- It's like, when you get to be really, uptown like 318 Wheel Run and you sitting there with close to 4,000 subscribers, that's just part of what goes with it, right?
I'm just a minnow in the ocean.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have a great time with all these channels, and we're going to have channels from people who just barely make their 500 to channels with around 1 million subscribers.
Well, that'd be nice.
Seriously, it's
gonna be
we'll
awesome.
have a great time together.
There's a difference from people who are like they're real focused on trying to build a channel, but for me, it's just an extension of the hobby.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's like
I agree.
I enjoy my cars, and I guess I don't pay much attention to it. I just enjoy sharing it. There's not a whole lot of people around here into cars and Mopars especially or whatever. So it's just, I have fun interacting with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I enjoy it. I just enjoy it. It's fun. It's always just been fun for me, but I would be lying if I said I didn't want it to grow. I want it to grow exponentially over the next 2 or 3 years. I don't know how the hell I'm going to get it there, because it seems like you start getting traction and you kind of just hit a brick wall, and then
keep doing videos like the one you did for your announcement video for the No Name Nationals. You keep doing stuff like that, and you will.
Yeah. I've got some pretty good ones planned.
Excited about that. I loved it. I thought it was great.
What was that?
We both thought your announcement video was fantastic.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
It's great. It's great. That one is up there.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that one. That was a lot of fun.
Any of you guys haven't seen Streetcar Chronicles announcement video for the No Name Nationals, it's in my community section.
Cool.
Go find it. It's worth a watch. It's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, we had fun. We just got in a drone. I told my buddy, I was like, "Hey, you know how to fly it yet?" And he goes, "Kinda." I was like, "Sweet, let's do this." I was like, "Just don't hit my car."
It's a shame it's 1 a.m. here because I would love to pull Jet in just to talk about carburetors. But yeah, I know. I just can't. I've got the landfill opens in 6 hours and 55 minutes, and I got literally about a ton of trash to haul off where I'm working in this old house.
Yeah.
I got to go do that, and then I got to be 2 other places, and then get back to work moving more, and it's just the way it is.
Yeah, I know it.
I gotta go put injectors in and all this Chalmers.
Yeah, I got a mound of work to do tomorrow. I got to drive about 2 hours from here to go work a claim, and then 2 hours back, and then I've got about 4 other claims I got to get knocked out, and then I got to go to Texas Motorplex tomorrow night because we're doing a radial tire race there this weekend, and I'm going to be filming there. And so I got to go to a dinner there tomorrow night, and then I'll be at the track all day Friday, all day Saturday, and partially all day Sunday. And then Saturday night, we're going out at 2 a.m. to test Damn It Dave's little turbo Mustang because we're going to Nakona next weekend to an outlaw track. We got a race to do there in Indian Valley. So we're going to go test his car on the street and make sure everything works right because that track is worse than any bare street you could ever run down. So you can get some pretty good data that way. So it's track, street, track next weekend, and then maybe I can work on my car again.
You guys wait till you see the carburetors Andy Wood, Unity Motorsports Garage, got this week. Unbelievable. You just have to see them. You just have to see.
The truck's gonna be wild.
Well, I mean, it's more than that. You just wait. You just wait to watch his channel, but it's worth it.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to that.
Our tracks don't open until the end of April.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Our tracks usually open around April 1. Weather's fine to open them now, but
I don't know what change is going to be different. It used to always open like the second or third weekend in April. New owners bought it, so I don't know how much has changed, but I hope not much, just because I really like the setup the way it was. But we'll see. It might be better.
Cool Dizzy, is he?
Yeah, luckily we get to race pretty much year round around here for the most part.
Our plan is on the first day it's open, it's going to be test and tune. So our plan is to get drag truck down there, and we're making a push for 790s, but I don't know that. A lot depend on it. I haven't done much with it, just real small change. And if it's running a full quarter, that'll be even better because that's what I really like. So
drag truck's going to get a 790 in the 8th. That truck is mean. And it does not look like it's going to be that fast either. I think it's great.
We done some small changes. I got a couple more things I'm going to do to it. And what I really need is a test and tune day to where I can mess with timing or anything else I want to play with. I haven't been able to do that. We took it down there and had to run it as it was, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. We'll pick up right where you left off, but it's really cool.
And then I got a bunch of other stuff I gotta work on with other cars that I want to do. I want to get back to the 76 Duster. Got a lot of changes I want to do on that, and it's just, so if I run into the 7s with drag truck, then I gotta divert my attention to a bunch of other stuff.
Well, Paint Namer, you missed all kinds of fun, but we're glad you're here.
Free sleep nap.
I think my dog takes pre-sleep.
Yeah, I got great names, dude. That's all I do is sleep.
He's napping right now. He's taking a pre-sleep nap right now under my desk.
Well, I take them all through the day. I try not to when I'm driving, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the best times when you're driving.
I'm
Hear
kind
the
of having
rumble
fun
strips.
with
I'm awake.
with Mike's Hoopty Barnes 51 Coronet. That's quite a project. That's enjoyable.
Yeah.
That drive line's got me intrigued.
That drive shaft he made with us.
Whoa. Yeah. 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 I really hope he has a bunch of drive shaft loops on that. That's all I got to say.
Where is he based out of? Is he in Arkansas?
He's in Missouri.
He's in Missouri. Okay.
But his property is butted right up to Arkansas. I mean,
Oh,
he's
okay.
right on the border.
Right on the border.
You know what his drive shaft in that car reminds me of? It reminds me of one of those green jack posts that people put in houses. It has all the holes in it and the carriage. But it looks just like one. He could have made it out of one and told me that, and I would have believed him. It looks exactly like one.
Didn't he put a 440 in that thing?
It's 318.
It's a 318. Okay. Okay.
Truck transmission.
Oh, okay. He ain't gonna break it then.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. We're talking about a
give you
grade
Mopar
2
guys a hard
carriage
time.
bolt. A grade 2 carriage bolt is what goes through this thing. I've seen a lot of.
And he made a slip yoke out of it.
Yeah.
It's a slip yoke.
Hey, however you make it work, and as long as it stays in there, it's all that matters.
Let me tell you, if Big Mike will make a video and he'll go live dumping the clutch on that thing from 5,000, I'll promote that for a week because I want to see what happened. I don't want to see video and a selective video of what happened after. I want to see it live. 5,000 RPM sidestep the clutch. Do it live.
I just get the feeling that if you was to pull up to his house, the Hoopty Barn, I just have a feeling right away you could pull out the lawn chair, sit down, and you could kill an easy 4 hours just yakking.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have no doubt.
Well, I think we could do that with anybody. You know, gearheads tend to talk.
Just his whole demeanor is so calm and laid back, and he's just going through it like he's putting together a puzzle, you know, sitting at a table.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just stumbled upon those guys out in, was it North Carolina, the Poor Boys Garage. Have you seen any of that stuff?
Yeah,
man, they do some fun stuff out there.
Yep, he's coming to Sykeston.
Yeah, that's what I saw. He's bringing that Roadrunner. Or...
Well, I haven't put anything out about him because I want everybody to make their own announcements, you know, how and when they want to. But he called me like the morning after the announcement, all excited. And he didn't know what he wanted to bring in or what he wanted to do, but he was all excited. He's like, I am in. Just got to figure out what I want to do.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, 2 months later, we now know. We got a lot of big channels hanging back like that.
It's going to be fun.
I have a friend that registered and is trying to get there. Credence Chrysler Revival.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an awesome name, Credence Chrysler
Revival. That's awesome. By the way, speaking of Credence Chrysler Revival, Credence is... Where is he on here? He's registered.
Yep.
He's registered, and he does not yet have his subs. Why is he not on my list? Oh, I see. He's not on my list. I want to say he had 37 subs, but he should be on my list.
I think he's up to 49 now.
Okay, but I don't know why he's not on my list. Anyway, that's weird.
I write him down.
But Henry's Hot Rod Garage looked a couple days ago. He's at 48.
Heck yeah.
So,
keep going.
Credence Chrysler Revival told me if he doesn't get the subs, he's still going to go down there and he's still going to be a spectator. Even
I think Credence may have just signed up as a spectator. That may be why. Now I want to know.
Well, if I can get 500, pretty much anybody can, because, you know, my videos are whack.
You even put a name to keep people away. I mean, yeah,
it's true advertising.
No, Credence is here. I got him. So, yeah, he's in the book.
I'm gonna have to get me one of them AHRA stickers so I can be like legit and everything driving around.
You guys need your AHRA stickers. Yes, you do.
Yep.
How many horsepower do you work?
I don't know. I have to ask Dallas what the conversion factor is.
11 billion?
For something like that.
Hopefully it's at least 30. That way I can get close to 400.
Yeah. I need 30 so I can have 300 horsepower.
Well, we're running 8th mile, right?
Yeah.
I just want to break into the 13s.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you want to run quarter mile, we'll have a memorial service for you after you do. I mean, you're not saying you can't run quarter mile there.
A little bit of a short track, is it?
I'm just saying. You'll be at Sykeston Beach and then you'll be unconscious.
If you want to go, if we're racing quarter mile, me and Hoosier Garage will be the only event that day on Friday.
Yeah. Well, it was funny. I told somebody one time, I said, I've seen Gainesville Beach up close. Gainesville does have a beach. It's at the end of the Gainesville's Dragway.
Oh.
I've never been on Gainesville Beach, but I've seen it up close. No, Jed, you need to get one of those Predator engines from Harbor Freight and put in Jezebel.
Ooh.
That's what you need.
Hey, watch out. We threw one of those in a dang go-kart over here, and Jake hit a stationary mailbox. It's funny. He was telling me, he's my son. He was telling me, he goes, Dad, do you think we could put a big block in my S10? I said, you do realize that you hit a stationary object, right? And he goes, yeah, well, that was one time. I was like, yeah, that was one time too many.
I just had the funniest visual in my head. So I just told Jed, he said he wants to have 30 horsepower so he can have 40 in Jezebel. I told him to put one of those Predator, little Predator Harbor Freight engines in there. Yeah. I just visually saw Jed pop the hood on Jezebel and pull a rope starter to start it. I have no idea how much I'd like to see that happen.
Little centrifugal clutches. Cling, 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 cling.
That gives me an idea.
Here's a question for Jed. Jed, I when I was watching your van video, I saw you grinding on the caliper to clear the rim. Were them 14-inch rims or 15-inch rims?
Bet they're.
You got to wait 30 seconds for it to get to them.
Yeah.
Oh, we on delay?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of delay to YouTube.
Maybe. Yeah, Jed, what was your stack there? 14? Well, it was 14. The wheels on the top, the bottom. Right. What was your whole arrangement there?
14s? Wow.
I got a really nice set of 14 slots in the 4.5 pattern.
I need a set of 15.3 Krager so I can make my car super psychedelic 70s.
I'll tell you, I'm wanting a set of 15x8 Ram Charger wheels.
Ooh.
They ran them in 77 and 78. They're steel. They're 15x8, and they came on the Ram Charger. I'm looking for some of those.
My brother would have a set. My brother's the Mopar nut.
Yeah. 15x8 Ram Charger wheels. Anybody know anyone has any 15x8 Ram Charger wheels? I'm interested.
Or some 15x3 or even 4 Kragers. Chevrolet bolt pattern.
Do you care what kind of shape they're in?
I don't care.
I might have those, actually.
No way.
Yeah, really.
Ooh.
4 3/4 pattern, 15x3.5 for something Krager.
Man, I'm telling you, you got a set of those.
What kind of condition they have to be in?
I don't care.
I think these are actually pretty nice. I have to look.
I have a guy here in Dallas that's got a set. They call him the Krager King of Dallas. He's got a set. Well, I'm sorry. He doesn't have a set. He's got like 8 sets. And he's like, I'll sell you a set. That's cool. Every time I hit him up, hey, you ready for me to come pick them wheels up? How about next weekend? Yeah, I'm like, come on, dude.
Come on, man.
Yeah, if there's Chevy pattern, because I'm thinking they might be. And I got them years ago. I had to go look. I will look for you, though.
Hey, if you put your hands on them and you decide you want to let go of them, if you don't want to ship them.
No, I'll gladly will if they're Chevy pattern. That's the thing. I think they are. I could be wrong. I have to look at them.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they haven't made it onto anything of mine, and I think that might be the reason because they're Chevy.
Yeah. So I got a tunnel ram sitting around. If I find a set of Kragers, I'm putting a tunnel ram on my car.
If they're Dodge pattern, they need to go on the front of my Dart Sport, but I think they're X brand wheel pattern. I think they're 4 3/4.
Woo.
Yeah, we need to have more tunnel rams there. I'm bringing one, so everybody's got.
Andy's bringing one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was trying to swing it in the budget, but I think I'm about damn near tapped out by the time I get this thing done because because I'm going fuel injection on the car, and I almost bought another throttle body and tossed it on there, but I don't think I'm gonna. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see
I can't ram this one, but I'm going dual quad.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Danny Boyd, no, not the wagon spoke ram charger. I mean the plain steel. They made a plain steel that you can put a dog dish hubcap on, 4.5-inch bolt pattern, had 4 1/4 back spacing. They're 8 inches wide. It looks like a 15x7, except they made them an inch wider to the outside because that's exactly what they are.
You know,
I had one on the back of that for a spare of my wife's Ram Charger before we sold it. I think that's what that one would have came with, but somebody changed them, so I ended up putting the police wheels on them.
That's what I need. Yes, exactly what you're talking about.
Hers was a 77.
That's it. That's what it would have had. 77 and 78. Only 2 years they did that, I believe.
It came with those aluminum wheels, so I took them off and I put the 15x8 police wheels on it.
15x8 police wheels. That's a Super Coupe wheel, right?
Basically.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure now you got me second guessing, but I think
if they had the 6, okay, if they were 15x8 and they had the slots around the wheel, the 6 slots with the Super Coupe wheel. If they were 15x7 with the slots, it was a police wheel.
That's probably what it was in 15x7.
Yeah. Because I'm telling you, those Super Coupe wheels are very rare. They're worth a lot of money.
No, I think I took these off a Diplomat police car.
Yeah, they were 15x7. Those are great wheels. I have some of those. I'd just like to do a plain steel 15x8 if I can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after putting that rear end in my car, none of my wheels fit, so I'm gonna probably have to order a set of wheels. Sucks.
Yeah, I'll figure something out.
Wheel fitment is a nightmare on the back of a G body. It's the worst part.
Is it really? Because it looks like a pretty generous wheel well. What is the
Oh God! All you can get is a 28.9 on it if you roll it, and then you want to do a 28.10 or 10.5 or 275/60. You can get it if you roll it and you put the right offset wheel on it. You can get it, but mine. God, man, we had to notch the frame and everything. I still got to put some bracing in the back of it too. I haven't done that yet. I got to put a little bracing back there. But
that's more wheel well than a Dodge Dart has.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what. Even after I notched it, I had a 15x8 with a 275/60 with a 4.5-inch back spacing. The damn thing would still rub.
26.8.5 will rub the springs on a Dart if you run the pressure too low.
Will it really?
Yeah, for real.
Man, that's good to know because I love me some darts. I've had it in the back of my mind to try to find me a dart. I don't want to fight any of that. I guess I'll just stick with Duster.
Well, guys,
I got a Sawzall and a welder.
1:23, and my dog is telling me the party's over. We got to go patrol around. So,
see ya.
I'll have to jump off, and I'd love to have you guys back another time. It's been a barrel of fun.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, I mean, we just get to celebrate BareRose's 500 and everything miscellaneous that goes with it.
Heck yeah!
And thanks again,
Thanks for sending
everybody.
that link, John. Appreciate
Let
it.
me know when you want to talk vodka.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna have Thumper on again to talk all about ethanol fuel. Fascinating stuff. We need to do a whole live just on that. So,
We'll
anyway,
catch you guys.
Y'all be good. I'll catch you later.
See you later.
Thanks for turning out.
Later, guys. Good talking to you.
You too, man.
And thanks, John. And everybody.
Thank you. It's been a barrel of fun.
Man.
Good night.
Good night, John.